We have very blessed day today that we have, I welcome Mr. Geetha Mohanram, very eminent speaker and very good personality. And I met her personally yesterday, and we have so much nice experiences she had gone through. And I welcome her and all our guests from various centers. They traveled a large distance. So I welcome everybody. And I will just introduce our regional president, Mrs. Bhagya Chandrasekhar. Mrs. Bhagya Chandrasekhar was introduced to Satya Sai Baba in 1994, soon after her marriage. Prior to coming to Satya Sai Baba, she was and is a devotee of Shirdi Sai. She described her journey with Sai as Shirdi to birth. Bhagya had been involved in several center activities and served in various roles within the center. She also served as a regional SSC coordinator for Region 1, being an SSC teacher herself for over 20 years. She embraced this position and traveled extensively within the region during this period. She created SSC teacher training materials and conducted several teacher training programs for SSC teachers within her region. She also partnered with few other regions and conducted teacher training programs for the teachers in those regions as well. She is currently serving as the regional president, Region 1, Zone 1, USA. According to her, every opportunity to serve him is purely his grace. And with him by our side, guiding us, we will serve through. Sign on once again, everybody, all the guests who traveled. This is Geetha Mohanram. Thank you. Yes, Bhagya.
Everyone, and welcome all of you, each one of you. Oh, thank you. Anyway, on behalf of the Global Council Centers of Syracuse and Rochester, we welcome each one of you to this beautiful Aradhana Day celebration. Yes. Our story goes on. Thank you. But anyway, going back to the statement I made, we are very, very honored to have each one of you here at the Global Council Center of Syracuse. Very honored to have Mrs. Geetha Mohanram here for the Aradhana celebrations as well here. So thank you all for traveling long distances and for being present here to participate in this wonderful celebrations here. Just a couple of logistics before I introduce Mrs. Geetha Mohanram. Please, my sincere request is to silent all your cell phones, number one. I think we have plenty of time to do those things later during the break, so we will not disturb our speaker here. And then the second thing I wanted to mention is we will not have the question and answer session in the morning session because we will have Geetha speak to us in the afternoon. We have some index cards and pens at the back. Please feel free to pick if any of you have any questions, and then they will be passed on to me, and then we'll bucket them accordingly, and then we'll provide them to Geetha to answer them, depending on how much time we have. So it will be an interactive session, and it will be only in the afternoon. And secondly, I think, again, a sincere request from us is please limit your questions to the spiritualism only and to the talk that she will be sharing with us today. That way, I think we will get more out of this. We will get more of what Swami's messages are to each one of us. I think that would be a sincere request. So thank you again for that. And then before again, just a quick thing is I'm very, very happy and pleased to share. We have some regional officers here for our Global Council Center, Region 1. We have Sandhya Rao, who is serving as a service coordinator. We have Dr. Krishna Rao, who is the medical director for our region. And then we have Rashmi ji, who was supposed to be here. I think he's probably on his way somewhere. Maybe he'll be arriving soon, but he's serving as the vice president for our global council region here. So thank you again, all of you, for coming here and awaiting Mrs. Geetha Mohanram's wonderful talk here. So it gives me a great pleasure to introduce her. Geetha was born into a family of devotees who first recognized Swami's divinity in 1943. Since then, 5 generations of her family have remained at his lotus feet. Her father, Dr. Padmanabhan, a renowned dental surgeon, served Swami in various organizational capacities for decades and is well known as a person who walked behind Swami during darshan in Whitefield. Geetha's mother, Mrs. Kamala Padmanabhan, part of the original group that developed the first Bala Vikas curriculum under the direction of Bhagavan himself, subsequently appointed by Swami to be the SSE coordinator for Karnataka state in India, a post in which she served with distinction for 25 years. Geetha has had the incredible fortune of growing up in the shadow of our Divine Lord since birth, enjoying and experiencing his divinity and multifaceted personality during his frequent visits to their family home and the family's lengthy visits to his ashrams. At the tender age of 15, Geetha was selected by Swami to be an SSE teacher and to deliver lectures under the EHV, Education in Human Values, program to high school teachers throughout the state of Karnataka, India. She had the rare privilege of serving as Swami's scribe during the formalization of the Bala Vikas curriculum, writing down the nectarine directions and words of Bhagavan himself as he developed that program. In 1978, her marriage to Mr. Mohanram was performed in the divine presence of Swami at Whitefield. After emigrating to the US in 87 at Swami's direction, she and Mohanram, along with their twin sons, Varun and Arun, settled in Laurel, Maryland, where they still live now, delighting in the company of 4 grandchildren. Geetha was an award-winning kindergarten teacher for 22 years and has served as SSE coordinator and vice president of the Sri Satya Sai South Bethesda Center. Over the past 25 years, at Swami's command and with his blessings, Geetha has been sharing her treasured experiences with our beloved Lord with devotees all over the world. She is a gifted and highly sought after speaker, able to transport her audience to another place and time to share in each of her experiences with our beloved Lord. It gives me great pleasure and an honor to welcome Mrs. Geetha Mohan.
Mukam karoti vachalam, panghum langhete hidam, yatrupatamaham vande, Paramananda Madham. Offering my most humble salutations, pranams at the feet of our Divine Lord, who is always present with us whenever we get together with a group of fellow brothers and sisters who want to proceed on this spiritual journey together. I have absolutely no doubt that he is here today. Sai Ram to all of you, brothers, sisters, elders, youngsters. Thank you for spending this day with me and giving me the opportunity to think of him, do his Namasmarana. I really am very grateful. Every time somebody asks me to speak, no doubt you all feel that I have taken the trouble to travel a distance. But I'm always very grateful that you have given me one more opportunity to think of him, not only think of him, to relive my whole life. Thank you very much for the introduction, Sister Bhavya. My whole life has been nothing but him for me. So to relive those moments, I go back to my childhood, to my youth, my adulthood, my marriage, and relive and enjoy those moments again and again because of the fact that you all want to hear about him. So thank you. Sairam to the regional president, Mrs. Bhagya, who is here, to her husband. Without the help of a spouse, it is not possible to do all the work that we do. Thank you for bringing him here. To the Seva coordinator here, Dr. Sandhya Rao and Dr. Krishna Rao, who has brought her here, who is also the medical director, and Brother Jitendra, who is taking care of this center and doing Swami's work on behalf of all of you to run this place. And all of you who are here today. But before I go on any further, I really have to thank with gratitude my wonderful hosts who have taken care of me so well from the moment I landed yesterday, Dr. Gupta and Sister Madhu, so beautifully making me feel so much at home. So having said these things, not because it is a formality, but really out of gratitude for giving me this opportunity to come here today. You know, it is kind of a mixed feeling for me when I have to speak on Aradhana Day. It is a long journey for all of us to move away from the physical form to enter into that cosmic divinity which he truly is. Once he had said to me, and I had said, Swami, you are Sarvantaryami, because he had narrated some story that I had said somewhere in some retreat. And he corrected me and said, you told the whole story but never told the ending. This was somewhere in Chicago. He was sitting in Prasantinilian. And I said, Swami, you are Sarvantaryami, you know everything. He said, yes, I am Sarvantaryami, I am everywhere. Air is everywhere. But unless you have a nose, you cannot breathe. So, the physical form that has walked on this earth, to which I am very much attached, it has been a difficult and still continues to be one, not to have that physical form at the drop of a hat to confirm his presence, and get used to the idea that he is in each and every one of you. It has been a journey and it will continue to be so. So it is always with some amount of trepidation that I speak, because even for me, this Aradhana Day is a new thing for me. It's a 10-year-old or 11-year-old since Swami left his physical form to speak. But I always go back and try to think of that beautiful form that walked there in Vrindavan or in Prasantiniliam and connect when the bhajans are being sung. You know, you all sang so beautifully with so much of love for Swami. So I'm here today, and as you can see, I was telling Sister Bhagya and brother over there, Brother Chandrasekhar, when we were having breakfast this morning, that for me, every talk is a test of my faith. You know, every talk. And faith is always tested by Swami. Every moment he will see that, do you really mean what you say? Do you really believe what you say? It is easy to say. As Sai devotees and attending study circles and reading books and listening to Swami discourses, we have all become used to using certain buzzwords, as my sons would call it. Certain buzzwords. But do we really believe what we say? When I say that I know that he is here, do I really believe it? Do I behave in the way that I would if I could see him sitting right here on this chair. So that is a continuous test for me, because he told me long, long ago when I started and I did not want to do all this speaking. He said, oh, so you, I said, I don't want to speak. Swami, one talk you told me to give, I have given it. This was in 19. That is enough. I don't want to do this speaking, because I was an ordinary housewife, a kindergarten teacher, raising 2 sons in America, and in many ways, mentally a different set of values from the one that I grew up in India. So it was not easy to come here and try to bring up my 6-year-old children whom I brought from India at Swami's command, which I felt actually at that moment not a command but a banishment. For some weird reason, I did something and he asked me to go to America. I did something wrong, and this Swami of mine is just sending my whole family away. So it was a big, so I did not want to speak about him. My focus was that I wanted to make sure the children got all that physical, the attention that they were getting there. And then, so when he asked me to speak, I said, I don't want to do all one talk. I used to speak about Swami. That was not difficult for me, because I became a Bal Vikas guru at a very young age. And he told me to go and give all this education in human values lecturers to all sorts of people, non-devotees all over the state of Karnataka, in Chennai, all these places. That was not difficult, because it is easy to read Swami's discourses, listen to his discourses, make notes and present it. But to speak about one's experience, I have to always put a disclaimer and say that I am narrating to you what I have seen and what I have heard. If you ask me whether I am practicing, I will be far behind somewhere. So don't ask me everything that you are telling me, are you practicing? I am not. I am in exactly the same boat as every other brother and sister. But the only good fortune I have is to narrate what I have seen, to tell you what I have heard, and to tell you what he has said. So I don't know how many times Swami also says, life mein zero, stage mein hero. Going in front of the mic, going on talking, but when it comes to practice, I'm getting as impatient with my children and my husband as the next person is. But I don't want to talk, because I'm tested every time if I'm practicing. I don't want to practice also, I don't want to talk also. That's the easy way out. Easy way. So he said, oh, see how much you have ego. I don't want to talk if you're saying ego. If I say, Swami, nobody is inviting me, that is ego. I'm saying I don't want to talk and you're calling me ego, Swami, I'm not understanding. So he said, because you're thinking you are talking. You're thinking in your mind that you are talking. In such a way, sarcastic way actually. He said, you are just a tape recorder, ordinary metal box. In those days, you used to have those rectangular tape, that's what's on. Ordinary rectangle box. When I turn the switch on, you talk. When I turn off the switch, you close your mouth. Nor muyi, he said in Telugu actually. Shut up is actually the word. Not even close your mouth. So I said, how can I do like that? So many people are coming, they are asking me to speak. He said, well, you go and stand there. Whatever you are supposed to say there, I will make you tell. You go and tell, and then. But you see, even in that, I was telling this morning, there are so many nuances. He will give me the idea, he says what to say. But at the same time, how I present it, that is my job. That is not helping me. I was just telling this morning that I gave a talk somewhere. From childhood, Swami used to address me as Geetha Ma, Geetha Ma. He used to call me like a small child. One particular visit in Prashanti Nilayam, when I had the good fortune of him speaking to me, Loga Ra Geetha, he said, come inside Geetha. So I felt, first time he is calling me Geetha. No Amma attached, like a small child. I must be growing up. See, look at all the imaginations we have in our own mind, So I said, Swami, now I have become a grown-up Swami. You are calling me Geetha. By this time, I have 2 children who are teenagers. Till such time, he is calling me Geetha Ma. Today, suddenly you are calling me Geetha, which is the name he gave me. He used to joke about name. I gave you Geetha, not Sai Geetha. Don't become like Sai Geetha. Don't become like her. No? So you call him. So he said, no, now you have become so grown up. When I'm sitting there in your talk in front of me, you are drinking water. You see, if Swami, we can all physically see him, will we be drinking water, lifting, sitting there, sitting how we like, doing what we want? That means what he's saying, you're not believing in what you're saying. You are saying, I am there, but you're drinking nicely in the middle of your talk, taking water, opening, drinking, putting, standing there. You're saying, sorry, I got a call. So I was narrating this incident in some talk. See, Swami corrected me. Some person who was there in the audience, he stood up and said, I have a question. He said, what? He was not yet, he had not yet come into the Sai fold. Another brother. So he said, what type of a cruel master you have? He doesn't even want you to drink water when your throat is hurt. See how we take the message, the cup can be half full or half empty. The point I was trying to make is that he's always present. And he knows each and every thought, word, and action of ours. But I didn't express it correctly. So Swami said, what is that in that talk? You nicely made me a bad fellow. Much later, Swami tells me, you made me a villain. So what is this, Swami? I mean, what is that you're telling about? They are telling me I'm not letting you drink water. I said to Swami, I was just trying to tell like this and drinking. And they said, what was wrong, Swami? I was just trying to tell. I don't understand where I made. He said, when you are expressing yourself, was it about me or about you? You went on telling they put agarbatti, my throat was hurting, I drank water. Instead of that, you should have said, we must remember that he's always here. Our behavior, our words, our actions should always be with awareness of what he's doing. Even if we drink water in front of him, when we are speaking, he knows. That's all you need to tell. Instead of that, you shifted the whole story. I went there, agarbatti smoke was there, I drank, I coughed, this happened, that happened. So what is it? So how we present it, that was my job. The message was his job. So how I present it, if I make any mistakes today, you're all welcome to tell me at the end of the talk. But the message has to be understood correctly, what he said. So I grew up in this family, I was very fortunate. And in many ways, when I see all of you, brothers and sisters, I feel such a great sense of admiration. And I really feel how wonderful you devotees who have come to him are. Because for me, it was a no-brainer. There was a picture of Rama, Krishna at home in the altar. There was a picture of Swami in the house. Only this God, he came to our house. The other gods were quiet when he came. He came to our house, he stayed in our house, he drank coffee, he sat with us, he chatted, he played snakes and ladders with my cousin and myself. Though we never wanted him to play because he always won. But we didn't want him to play. And he will insist on playing. So I grew up with that, knowing that he knows whatever I am doing in his physical absence. But for us and for all of you to come at a later stage in life, where the intellect has developed, where the thought process and questioning has come, it is much more difficult to cross those barriers and come to him. And that is why I feel when Swami told me to come to America, which I told you I felt was a banishment, a punishment, whatever, he told me that how long are you going to be in standard 1? First standard lo enni rojulu untavu. How long will you be in first standard? You think I am this physical 5-foot form who is here giving you chocolate or whatever, in our. But When will you see my devotees who see my cosmic form? When will you understand that no parent is happy if the child as it grows is always in first grade? We will take them to the doctor. Something is wrong. They are not understanding. Even after 15 years, she is doing only ABCD. We will take them to the doctor. So how long you want to be here? You have to go. You have to go. I said, I don't want to. So I'm quite happy being a failure. In first standard, I'm very happy. You have to go. That is a command. You have to go. So with a lot of crying and wailing and moaning, then finally, he gave a beautiful thing. You see, when a mother with a small child, a small infant, when she goes to a very busy marketplace, what will the mother do? She will hold on very tightly to the child. In the house, the mother will be in the kitchen cooking or in the study doing her work. The child will be in the room doing something. Mother will not worry too much unless there's absolute silence. Then she'll say something is going on. There's no sound. But otherwise, some normal noise, brothers, sisters fighting and all, okay, they are behaving. But when she goes to the market, she will hold on to the child's hand very, very tightly because she doesn't want to lose the child. Just like that, when you are there in America, my hand will be in your hands very tightly. But once in a while, what will the mother do? Supposing in the market, the mother lets go. The child will run forward. But once in a while, the child will turn around to see if the mother is following. I have small grandchildren. I see my son and daughter-in-law. I was telling them that they are holding on very tightly to the children. I said, let her go. It's okay. Nothing will happen. My daughter-in-law was petrified. We were in the mall. We were going to eat French fries. I told her, don't worry. It was a crowded this thing. I said, no, you watch because they're used to you being there with them. And from here to that pillar that my granddaughter ran, oh, mommy, let me go. She ran, but she went there and stopped. And she turned around to check if mommy is still behind or not. So he said, like that, you go to America, why are you worried? But you have to turn behind and come back here to hold my hand, make sure I'm here, and then you go back again. So that process we require till I really reach that idea that he is sitting here listening to me. Because it is easy to say that he is Sarvantaryami. I have had so many experiences. He has narrated every story. He has narrated every mistake I have made, like I told you. Once, brothers and sisters, I gave a talk somewhere. I had just had my hair cut. I always had a short hair. And they cut it too short. So I gave this talk and I finished and I went back. I went there in Prashanti Nilayam with his Karunamurti, whatever we are, he's there. He will ask us into it. Is your mother's house, he said, Then you come, I have to look after you. So I went. He called me for an interview. And then he said, then where did you speak recently? He asked. I gave him a list of places. And he said, what a bad hair day. Like they say in America. Bad haircut. It's a bad hair. By this time, it has some months have gone by. My hair has also grown. Then you get that talk of bad haircut. I didn't know what to say. By the time I've also forgotten also. I don't know, sometimes we can't understand what he's saying. How many 29 times going on, moving your hair in the middle of your talk, 29 times. It is a conversation we say sometimes, right? When we say to somebody, hundreds of times they say the same thing we say. Actually, it is not factual. Nobody will say hundreds of times. It's just a figure of speech. So like that, 29 సార్లు వెంట్రుకలు ఇలా అనుకుంటా 29 times. I didn't even remember, I said, hair band or hair pin or edo veskokuda. I said, can't you put a hair band? See, now you see, hair pin or something. When you are talking, the whole audience is thinking, I wish somebody will get up and give her hair pin. Nobody was listening to your talk. They are all bothered by your hair, but they want to give you a hair band. So the whole purpose, anta waste, ticket waste, everything You wasted their time. He said, so many people sitting in the audio wasted their time. Nobody was listening. What is the point? So, when Swami was here, I was talking to him very easily. I came to the room in Prashanthi. Swami really exaggerates, Mommy. 29 times, where will I do like that? And where will all the people think my hairband and hair? Like this, I talked to them. I came back to the US. In those days, whenever I gave a talk, they used to send that VHS tape, to me, one copy. Swami, I said, you ask for one copy and give it to Radio Sai. In those days, no media center putting videos. They used to play my talk in the radio. You send it there. So they sent it to me, these people, but they sent me a VHS tape. But that was irritating. See, because ego is such a problem, right? Because Swami made such a point in front of everybody in that interview room. As though it was so bad, that he has to tell me like this in front of him. So I put the tape on to see where this Swami has found me doing that. Believe it or not, brothers and sisters, in a 1.5 hour talk, 29 times I have moved my hair from one side. Even a joke that Swami utters is as Satya. That is why we call him Satya Swarupa. In our Ashtotram, we are narrating all these Mahimas of his. When you just recited the Ashtotram, every word has a meaning, So, next time when I went, Chusara, proof vachinda, he asked me. You got your proof? You saw the VHS? I didn't tell simply. Their hairband. So this is the Bhagavan that we have. This is the Bhagavan that I have experienced. And I'm sure if I ask, yesterday evening, I had a lovely time. A few brothers and sisters who came to visit, I asked everybody how they came to Swami. What pulled them to Swami? How did they come to Prashanthi Nilayam first time? And all gave such beautiful stories of their own lives, how Swami pulled them in, Beautiful stories, how they went there, what were the days in those days, what were my days. If I tell you now, everybody will get scared. Because all we have got used to the facilities. So, such a beautiful. So for me, when I come and speak, I look at all of them and think of how Swami has chosen each one of these people to pull them in. Because there is something within you that he thinks that will be useful to the people around you. He's not pulling for some selfish reason, everybody comment with me. He's not telling, he's just coming. He has said in so many discourses, I am not giving invitation to anybody to come to Prashanthi Nilayam. On their own, they are coming. So he has pulled you because you have something within you that is going to affect someone next to you. Something that you are going to do in your lifetime is going to affect someone. Someone else will see you and think, oh, there is something different about this person than the rest of the world. So I stand here thinking of all the beautiful times of Swami and thinking about all the different messages. But the one running thread in my life has been the fact that he's omnipresent. I know that because he proves to me every time I go there what I have done right or wrong. Doesn't matter. When I have done the right thing, he has told me. Very nicely, you told the rose story. Very nicely, you told the buffalo story. He has told me that also as a loving mother. But very lovingly also, he has corrected me in many ways. What is this going and telling something you went and said? So that omnipresence has been. But the nice thing has also been the presence of his physical form. Because he came here. Omnipresence, it is not that easy to all the time feel it. We feel it in certain moments of our lives. I'm sure all of you. All the time we cannot feel it. So that has helped me. One of the incidents that happened to me, which is really very, very dear to my heart, because sometimes, we have to remember the great bhaktas also, the great devotees who have served him. One such devotee today, for some reason, I'm remembering her, because this is a day that we are remembering him because it is Aradhana day. But he always used to say, I am nobody without my devotees. So this one particular lady in Prashantinayam, her name was Konamma. I don't know, many of you may have heard me speak about her. But today I have to remember her along with him. She was a very poor lady. She was actually not very poor. She had some lands and other things. But for whatever reason, after her husband passed away, she could not stay with the family. And she came almost with nothing to Prashantinayam in the days, in the early 60s, I think, or even maybe late 50s, I don't know. She came and she stayed in Prashantinayam and she asked for Swami that, may I stay here, Swami? I have nobody, I want to stay here and serve you. Swami said, nobody can come here like that easily to Prashantinayam. If you want to stay here, you must do some work. You cannot just come here and enjoy, the joy ice cream. And now we have all the Italian restaurant. That's not why we have Prashanti. Prashanti we have to get. So if you see the intelligence, she was a lady with no literacy, had not studied anything. Older lady, I should say, that time she was not that old. Didn't know how to read, write, no education. Just was a housewife, got pushed out of that, came here. But look at her interest. When we have bhakti, we know what to ask when you see the Lord, So she said, no problem, Swami, I'll do. Every day after you finish eating, all the dishes which has been used by you and for serving you, Swami, I will wash those dishes. Now you may think, yesterday our brothers were helping so much in putting the dishes in the dishwasher, I was thinking, what an intelligent way. No, we have all eaten and we all ladies were talking and the men were nicely loading the dishwasher. And I was thinking of Konamma, how she asked this job, Everybody said, very good, she asked. See, our own buddhi, it's not very sharp. See that, this old lady from the village, she doesn't know anything else. She only knows how to wash dishes. We are all good cooks. We can ask spiritual questions. Swami is answering our questions. We are singing bhajans. He is correcting our ragam, talam and everything. This lady knows nothing, illiterate lady. Good, let her wash. And also they were very happy because in those days, no water in Prashantinayam. Only 2 wells are there. If you have seen Prashantinayam, the Gopuram gate is there. There are 2 wells there. So from there, 1 well water was kept for Swami's usage. Other well we all used to use. So from that well, you have to draw the water, then you have to bring it and wash. So this lady, they said, very good, she wants to wash. So these people were more interested in preparing all the dishes for Swami when they were there. She was washing. But look at her thing. She will always be in the dining room with Swami. Because as soon as the Swami finishes eating, Swami will say, Konamma, you take the plate now, finished lunch or dinner. She is the first, but Swami is not eating everything that is there. He touches it, he eats little bit of thing. That prasadam, she is the first person Swami used to give. Here, take prasadam. First for breakfast, lunch. Everybody realized how foolish, they were. They gave us this job. Now you can't take it back. Once you give, it's gone. Once you leave, it's gone. So she had this job, this Konamma. That was one job. And then when she finished all this Swami's work, the other work was she used to boil the hot water for Swami. In those days, no geyser and no hot water heater and all. She used to boil in a big cauldron, hot water for Swami and carry the hot water upstairs for Swami. That was one more job. So she used to get up at 3 o'clock. She will take a shower. She will draw the water. So she's bringing it for Swami. She will fill up that cauldron, then put the fire and get everything ready. So 3 o'clock in the morning. So this was her job. So she lived like this in Prashantinayam for so many years. One particular weekend, my family, we went to Puttaparthi. We used to go very often. In those days, very difficult. My father had a car. Later years, we used to go. Very difficult. Last 22 kilometers was just rocks, We used to come and go. It used to just 100 miles from Bangalore to Puttaparthi. It used to take us 7 to 8 hours to reach because the roads were bad. It took a long time. So we came and Saturday, one day we all had darshan and everything. Sunday morning after bhajan, we were supposed to be 10:30. In those days, bhajan used to get over 10:30, 10:45. And I still have the memory in my brain, I remember Swami, just after the Arati was over, suddenly Swami came from the mandir outside. You have all seen the mandir. He came outside, he called my father and he said, Padmanabh, Konamma is not feeling well. She has to be taken to Bangalore. So immediately you and myself, we will go to Bangalore. And this thing, let Kamalama, that is my mother, and Jagadish, that was my brother, let them both come in the bus. You and Konamma and Geetha, because I was still a small girl. So she can't take that bus journey, bullock cart bus journey, so a long journey. So we three people will go. First he said, you take Konamma. So my father said, shall I leave immediately? He said, you leave immediately. Then about 5 minutes later, my father got, where you have the Ganesha statue now there, Ganesha Vigraham. There was no Ganesha, only the banyan tree was there. So we used to park our car there. That was our parking. So my father ran to the house room to tell my mother, I have to leave immediately. Go and find out what is wrong with Konamma, because Swami has asked me to take her. So by the time my mother went to Konamma's room to see, came Swami with a little black bag, like a little small handbag. He came from upstairs and said, no, Padmanabh, if you just take her. You see, my father was also a doctor, a dentist. He said, if you just take her, she will die on the day. I will come with you. Ego cutting will happen at every stage, actually. I will come there. So my father said, now Swami, it is 10:30, 11. Swami still has not had lunch. He has had his breakfast. Now, Swami, shall we wait? No, there is no time for all that. You can come. Everybody ran that to the corner. Somebody brought her. Swami said, I will also come. He told me, Geetha, you sit in the car in the back with Konamma. I will sit with Padmanabh in the front seat. My father had a small car called Standard Super 10. I don't think they even manufactured that car. I remember the number also. I must have been 6 years old, MYB 9897, car number. So this Konamma, she is in excruciating pain. We don't know what is this. She's holding her stomach. And Swami says, she sees Swami and in her pain also, no, Swami, no, Rava the pa. She says, don't come. I'm in so much pain. She's embarrassed. She's not able to hold back the pain. And she doesn't want to give trouble to Swami. Illiterate lady, imagine old village lady. You don't come. No, Konamma, if I send you with Padmanabh, you will not live on the way. She says, I will go. If the time has come, I will go. I don't want to trouble you. Devotees are waiting for evening bhajan. Don't come. How many of us have the courage to say? So, don't come. He said, no, you simply lie down. In the back seat, she laid down, small car. You sit down and be with her. So, my father and Swami in the front seat, black bag in the trunk. We leave my mother. Swami, you're leaving suddenly. Swami, shall I quickly, Swami, 15 minutes if you give, I will make upma. Swami has not eaten lunch. I will pack. He said, you don't worry about all that in Penakonda, we will have some. Imagine that. So we left. That 22 miles between Puttaparthi and Penakonda, I'm telling you, it is, if you see a few potholes in DC, we are cursing the government and everybody. These potholes, these fellows never repair anything, all that. That you should have seen that road. It's a bullock cart road, actually. Just bullock carts go. It's a track. On that, our car has to go. In between, there are small creeks are there from that Chitravati. So we are going. The rain has just come, I think, few days back. All these creeks are running. And all slushy, mud, swampy road. We are going, and sure enough, some 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers we have gone. The car gets stuck in that swamp, and the tires are just going away. It's not moving for Swami in the front seat. This lady, every time the car goes on one of the rocks, this lady is in Sai Rama, she says, poor thing. And Swami will turn and say, Konamma, I'm here only. He will say. So every rock, every stone, Sai Rama is going on, car. You see, this is how we think, we think Swami has to come wherever we are. My father and Swami, what to do now? The normal habit was, if my brother and my mother are there, my father will sit at the wheel. We are all used to getting out of the car and giving the car a push out of the swamp. Now nobody is there. My father is driving, Swami in the front seat. I am 6 years old Sikh Kona. Who is to give this car a push? No? So my father got out with one wheel on the steering wheel. legs outside. You can't do that, right? Then Sankata Bandare Venkataramana. If we don't have anybody, then only we will call him. No, we will call out. So we're looking at Swami. That too, we're saying simplicity. So Swami comes out. Name just come there. Swami, you can't push. And it's all swampy. Swami's robe will get wet, all water. No, you sit in the car. I will push. Geetha Makandu, Konama is sick. So he comes out of the car. You see, Govardhana Giridhari he is. They're singing in the budget. 98, 97 standard super car. I don't know. Somebody Google later, find out what is the weight. He just goes, I am turning, sitting on my knees, because I'm looking in the rear window to see what this he is going to do. He just comes, and he just put one finger on the car. Yeah. The car goes some 15 feet and stops actually. And this lady, Sairama. So once that happened, twice also second time. Third time, this is 22 months we have to go. Third time it happens, we are all looking, why are you taking so long? Get down. We don't want to get down and try something. We want him only to come running wherever we are. We have to ask ourselves. So anyway, he went out pushing the car. He is in Panikonda, my father's mom. You have not eaten anything, Swami. What to do? By that time, so we left at 10:30, 10:45 Prashant in India, 1:30, 25 kilometers we have traversed, arrived in Penakonda. In those days, there used to be one, what we call like a dhaba, small street side restaurant in the bus stand. Only there we can get something to eat actually. It's a small town now. It has become a huge district headquarters. Those days, small town it is. So my father thought, Swami, at least coffee. In those days, Swami used to drink coffee. At least get you coffee, Swami. So then Swami says, hey, you want coffee and masala dosa. We were all in the habit of eating masala dosa and coffee in Penakonda and then going to Prashant Nilayam. Because there you won't get anything in Prashant Nilayam of those days. So we used to like that butter masala dosa. Hey, you want to eat, I know you also are not. Then I have this image, my father parking the car far away. In those days, my father was older to Swami. So they used to look after Swami. That Penakonda and all these people, they were not devotees. In those days, the villagers, they did not like Swami. They thought this boy has come from somewhere and creating all these problems for us. They are saying he's God, he is this and that. He's building some Prashanti Nilayam somewhere. They did not believe in him so much. So if they saw Swami from a distance, sometimes they would throw stones and all that, village. So the trick that all of our elders, if he came with us, they used to have one scarf, They will tie Swami's hair down with a scarf. Because in the rear window, you can see his big hair, right? So they throw stones. So they will tie his scarf, to Swami so that his hair will not show. So from a distance, it looks like some lady has covered her head or something like that. So they used to say, so my father parked the car and told me, you be in the car only, because I was naughty also, 7 years simply sitting in the car with this old lady that too. So you sit there, if anything happens, you come and call me, I'll bring coffee for. And my father went and brought coffee and dosa for Swami. I have that image of Swami, hot, that too, glass cup, In that, my father, poor thing, and whatever steel cup my mother had given me, poured it into that. And Swami had some coffee and this thing, and then he said, enough, let us go. Konamma is getting late, she's sick, enough, Padma. So we left 10:30, Puttaparthi 10:45, arrived in Bangalore, it was a Saturday, around 6:30, 7 o'clock. We arrived, entered Bangalore, and Swami says, Padma, you go to Dr. Kalappa's nursing home. Dr. Kalappa was a Kurgi doctor who was very well known to my father. He was a surgeon. And he had his own nursing home, what we call in India now, private hospital. So he had that. He said, you go to Kalappa. And Dr. Kalappa used to come once in a while to Vrindavan, but he was a good friend. You go there. So we go there. Kalappa, Dr. Kalappa's hospital was in the front. His house was in the back. So Swami said, you stay with Konama, let me go. And my father and Swami went to his front door. You can imagine it's a Saturday night around 7:30. They ring the bell. Dr. Kalapa opens and Swami and my father are standing on his doorstep. So he used to speak in Kannada. Swami, come in. He's so shocked actually. So Swami said, no, Kalapa, there is no time. I have brought my devotee. She is with me in Puttaparthi. I have brought her. She needs surgery. I need you to come and do surgery. So immediately Dr. Kalapa says, yes, Swami, and this thing, but you see, it was a private nursing home. That it's not like the hospitals in America where the anesthesiologist is always there. They schedule a surgery, the anesthesiologist comes. So when Konama was taken there, the Swami, that man said, Swami, I have to phone the anesthetist. Swami, he has to come for the surgery. You please sit down. Can I get you something? Or the usual thing. So Swami said, oh, anesthetist, anesthesia ichavada. The doctor who gives anesthesia. He is in some club there. Even if you call him, he is not in a position to give anesthesia. He himself has taken anesthesia. You are anesthesia. He himself has taken. What please there no use if you call him. Then what is he supposed to do, this poor surgeon? And then they take her to the surgery. I think they did whatever test the other nurses while she's talking to her. What to do now? So I said, the surgery appendicitis. It has burst, Swami tells him. X-ray in your X-ray didn't come here. Her appendix has been. So then Swami, that man is not there. What shall I? Then Swami says, Nenunnan kada. I'm there. These are the phrases we should not forget. I'm there. So he enters the OT. My father and I are all outside watching what Swami is doing. He enters, materializes. He tells her, Konama, nidrapo. Konama, go to sleep. Takes the vibhuti, puts it in her mouth, puts it on the forehead. Go to sleep. Doctor will take care of you. Go to sleep. And you see the love of another. I'll be here only. Don't worry. He tells her. She said, you have to put yourself in her shoes. Village woman, never been to a hospital. Nobody has taken care of her in her life. She doesn't know what is going on. Only her refuge is Bhagwan. That's it. Only familiar things. She's lying there. Nidra, she went. And Swami turns to this. Dr. Krishna Rao, I think I know what is this going on. Swami says, Kalapa, Mado. He says, go and do surgery. That's the thing for him. He has to do surgery on a woman who has swallowed vibhuti. And hope that she will stay sleeping while he is doing. Problem, right? If the intellect comes, only bhakti has to come. Okay, Swami. So we all came out. Look at the beauty of this Bhagwan, who gives everything to his bhakta. We don't want to do small things for him. That's a different matter. The hard benches, in the waiting room. I have this memory of Swami sitting on the bench with my father and myself. My father, Swami, I'll take you home, Swami. He will do the surgery and I will come back after dropping you. Then I will come and let you know. By this time, it's like 11 o'clock in the night. You, sir, come, Swami, you have traveled all the way, come here. Sitting on a hospital bench with these nurses. We are all so uncomfortable to see. We are used to seeing this nice decoration. But to see him in a different environment. So my father, then said, Aradhana, what will Konama say? No, Swami, she will be sleeping for some time. I made her sleep. I only have to wake her up. No? I only have to wake her up. Yes, Swami, but it's okay, Swami, she will wake up you. But then, the most touching thing I remember, he said, Aradhana, she's from a village. She has only seen lantern, oil lamps. When she wakes up and sees all the operation theatre lights, all bright lights here, bright lights there, she will think she has died and gone to heaven. She doesn't know how OT looks. She will get very scared, She doesn't know. Kalappa, you will be coming there to drop me with my small girl. She will get so much fear, Only person she knows face, she is comfortable, my face. When she wakes up, I should be there. Let her wake up, wake up. After the surgery is over, the doctor Kalappa, he did whatever surgery. He said, Swami, I don't know how she is alive, but she is alive. I finished. You can imagine that poor man's must have been a nervous wreck, when this lady will wake up in the middle of his surgery. He told, and then Swami said, come. Then after about 10-15 minutes, we go into the surgery room. She has that robe and all that. Swami just, Konama, lay. He says, get up. Much sleepy. She opens the Sai Rama. She says, wake up. How much you're sleeping? Here, I will go now and I'll come tomorrow morning. I'll go to Padmanabh's house. You rest now. You will be fine. Yeah, you won't feel anything, pain and all that. You don't worry, he says. And at that point, the hospital takes over. My father and now Brindavan Whitefield, this is in Double Road in Bangalore. Brindavan is so far away, it's in the middle of the night. And if you go there and wake up Rama Brahman who is sleeping, you have a big problem. He will have locked all the gates because Swami was supposed to be in Prashantinidiyam. My father said, Swami, I think you come home, Swami, it will take a long time to go. See, in the meantime, my mother is not there, right? She is taking the bus from Puttaparthi to she is not there. She has to take that long circuitous route. So he gets in the car, we come and arrive in our house in Jainagar. My father opened thing, we come in, we know how much preparation we used to make when Swami used to come. But my father quickly got some bedsheet, this and that, Swami, you rest, Swami. But something. Swami says, I am okay. I don't have all these needs of hunger and thirst and all like you people. But you people have to eat, no? In those days in Bangalore, you were not having all these 24-hour restaurants and all those things. So Swami, make you something. Also, my father is looking at my face, 6 years old. What am I? My father was a typical Indian man of those days. Only when he was building the house, he knew where the kitchen was in the plan. After that, I don't think he ever entered on this. Not like our wonderful gentleman we saw yesterday. My father didn't know where the kitchen, he knows where the kitchen, because prayer room is next to the kitchen. He doesn't know where rice is, where dal is, nothing. He says, the Swami is sitting there in the living room. He said, please for Swami. Then I you know how to pull out teeth. What do you know how to make rice and rasam? Rich people who have teeth. So he comes and he says that Swami made rice and what we call miriyal charu, pepper rasam. It's very simple. You just boil the water. No dal and all is required. It's like a very thin soup kind of a thing. Everybody eat. He made the rice and rasam for 3 of us. We ate that nicely. Then he went to rest. 6 o'clock, by about 5:30 in the morning, my mother arrived. In this long journey, previous day she has left. She arrived and she came and quickly took her bath and got coffee and everything ready. By the time Swami came out of the room, 6:30 in the morning, she had made coffee. Swami said, come on, you make a little more coffee. I will take it to Konama. In the morning, taking the coffee for her with my father, we all went to the hospital. He gave that Konama coffee. He said, Konama, you will be in the hospital for 2 days. Then you go to Padmanabh's house. You stay there for a week, and then if you finish recovering, he will bring you to Vrindavan. I will see you and send you back to Prashantinidiyam. So that is the devotion of a devotee that could make Bhagavan go through this whole. Of course, somebody in some audience will ask, why you are calling him Bhagavan? Instead of pushing the car with one finger, if he had touched her appendicitis, she would have been better, no? Why go through this whole? So we were also such devotees only, always asking questions. So I also asked much later, Swami, why did you do this? You could have cured Konama. He has done that for many people too. We know that. We have read books. He said, she had the karma of going through. You had the karma of seeing Bhagavan's Leela. Together, it came together. Both have to Kalamu, Karmamu, Karanamu, Pudi Ravali. Kalamu, time. Karanamu, reason. Karmamu, actions of the path. Kudi Ravali. They must all come together. Then only you can see Bhagavan and his Mahima. Not so easily one can see. So when I say that he is omnipresent, for me to develop that divine eye to see his form here, how much of Kalamu, Karmamu, Karanamu, all these three have to come together. Only then I can say that I can see him everywhere. I can only experience like the air, but to breathe I need a nose. So I need that form, I need that place, I need to keep on recharge. So that is how this great devotee of Swami could draw him. No? We have to get to that level of devotion when we can pull him like that to wherever we are. Till such a time, we have to go and recharge ourselves. As I speak this, I'm thinking there was one song. To be honest, I don't know if it was my aunt who composed, and this book needs to be put right as I know. Because I generally have all the Swami's quotes so that I don't misquote him. This lady also, and some of my relatives also, they used to sing this song. I'm not a good singer. Such beautiful singers you only have here. I'm not a good singer. But the song is, Inni Dinam, it's in Telugu, I will translate. Inni Dinamula Ninchi, Ninnu Gurtinchaleka, Andhakaramulo Padina, Atmayela, E Jeevatmayela. It says in all these days, when I have not recognized you, inni dinamulu, dina, days, which has not recognized you when I am living in this world, andhakaramulo padina, I am in the ignorance, darkness of ignorance. I have not recognized you. What is the use of this Jivatma in this body, which is living in this body, who is in ignorance, who has not yet recognized you? What is the use of this body? Pati Satya Sai Anuchu, Prarthana Cheyakunna, Namasmaranamu Leni, Nalikela, Bhaktula Jolikela. What is the use of this tongue that lives in this body, which does not chant the name of Pati Satya Sai? It has not recited his name. What is the use of this tongue, O Lord, that you have given me? It's okay if I don't have. Shantulu Gunavantulaina, Ashanti Galavaraina, Prashanti Nilayamurani, Padamela, Veru Vadamela, he says. What is the use of these feet that is carrying this heavy body, which has ignorance, useless tongue? If this feet has not taken me to Prashanti Nilayam, I may be somebody with already Prashanti. I may already have peace. Or I may have Ashanti, no peace. Whether I am somebody with Prashanti or Ashanti, if I have not come to Prashanti Nilayamu, what is the use of this feet that is carrying the weight of this body? What is there to argue about it? Veru Vadamela. ఏ జన్మలో మేము చేసిన పూజా ఫలము ఈ జన్మములో సాయి కరుణగల్గే వరముల పడయగల్గే. We don't know what great actions we have done in past many janmas. We have received your compassion by your presence. What good work we have done, we don't know. We have received your karuna. We have received it in this lifetime. We have received not just one karuna or one compassion. We have received a basket. Varamula padayagalge. We have received innumerable boons from you. ఓ సాయి ఏ జన్మములో మేము చేసిన పూజా ఫలము. Who knows what good actions we have committed in so many lives. Keep me there. So I will try to just sing one, but I'm a hopeless singer. I will to tell you. All the stanzas are in the same tune. ఇన్ని దినముల నుండి మిమ్ము గుర్తించలేక అంధకారములో పడిన ఆత్మయేల జీవాత్మయేల. What is the use of this Jivatma that has not realized you, seen you, talked about you? పతి సత్య సాయి అనుచు ప్రార్థన సేయకున్న నామస్మరణము లేని నాలికేల భక్తుల జోనికేల. What is the use of this tongue that has not recited the name of Prashanti Vasa? What is the use of calling yourself a Bhakta? Bhaktula Jolike. Shantulu Gunavantulaina. You may be somebody full of peace. Ashanti Galavaraina. You may be full of Ashanti also. Prashanti Nilayamurani. Padame Veru Vadamila. Why argue about it? What is the use of this feet that has not come to see you? Ye janmamulo memu chesina puja phalamu. Ee janmamulo sai karunagal varamula padayagal. Whatever we have done, we don't know. We don't know, but you know. We have received this great basket of boons. This was composed in 1944, 1945 time frame. And the last couple of stanzas are actually, I think, composed by Swami himself. He himself has mentioned, what is the use? You are born in this. Why don't you come? Why don't you see me? Talk to me. Think of me. He has given the guidance. So this Konamma, she used to also sing, and all my aunts and all these people used to sing this, and I grew up with this song, all the time. Hearing, listening, hearing, and so many such this thing. And with Swami's grace, we have all been called to his fold. My stories may seem amazing. My stories you were so fortunate. Many people will say you were so fortunate, you had that physical interaction. But actually, when you have the physical interaction, you tend to think he's in that physical interaction. When you participate in the activities that he has started, whether it is the Akhanda Bhajana, whatever it may be, your ability to, your skills may be many things. He started, I remember, he was in our house when the discussion for the name for our Satyasai organization was being discussed. Dr. Gokok, Dr. Bhagwantam, G.P. Rajaratnam, Dara Bendre, all these great devotees, great intellectuals also of those times in Karnataka. Swami had come to our house for dinner, and Swami was sitting, and all these men were sitting around, and we were all sitting there. And it was in 1967-68. The Sai organization was still in a conception. You have to form and all, because till that time people used to get together in groups and do bhajans. But the actual activities like Bal Vikas, all that was not there. And then the idea of the Satyasai's college was going to start, the Arts and Science College in Bangalore. So name is required. So Swami is sitting there so sweetly. Says, what name we should call this organization? So Dr. Gokok, great intellectual, all have read his books and seen him, tall gentleman in the old videos. He was the vice chancellor of Bangalore University, a great professor, and the first vice chancellor of the Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. And later his son also became the vice chancellor of the Satya Sai Institute. Look at Ye Janmamulo, Jesina Puja Palamo. You see, his son also became vice chancellor of Swami's University. How great is that? But then Dr. Gokok, he said, Swami, Shri Satya Sai organization, he said in English. The Satya Sai organization, if you call it like that, there are so many organizations. You know, this could be this one more organization. You know. So then Professor Rajaratnam, he was a great poet and philosopher in Karnataka. He said, Satya Sai Samastegalu. So Swami said, you are telling in English. In those days, you know, people were not so familiar with the English. So Rajaratnam said, Satya Sai Samastegalu. Swami Satya Sai organization in Kannada means Satya Sai Samastegalu. So Swami said, Samaste means organization, means it can be Rotary, it can be Lions, it can be so many organizations. What is it should we do? So everybody was talking. My father said, Swami, the main thing that you are telling us all to do is to do Namasmarana and Seva. So somebody, one of the people who were there again, one of the people, Satya Sai Seva Samastegalu. Why don't we call it Satya Sai Seva? Bhagavati, very nice, very nice. And that's how I remember way back, you know. And through that, you know, in India now, of course, everywhere, all of us, we are all trying to do Swami's work. But the amount of work that name that Swami gave, you know, so much work. And we are all so fortunate to have been a part of it. So when I was just 14 or 15, he said, hey, he had come to our house for dinner. And the whole idea of the Balavikas program had started. So the organization had become just kind of more fructified after the first World Conference and all that. So he told my mother, you become the state coordinator. She's only one of the few coordinators that Swami who served for 25 years. You know, all the other coordinators were changing. But in Karnataka, they served for a very long time. The state president also changed. Kasturi Garu was the first person, Dr. Sundar Rao, all these people were there. But my mother served in that position for 25 years, actually. And Swami said, you become, she was sitting like this in the front. I said, hey, Kamalamma, you do Balavikas program in Karnataka. So my mother had just started a Balavikas in our house with just non-devotee children in the neighborhood, all my friends only actually. I was in the 8th, 9th grade. Hey, bring all your friends. My mother was a good storyteller, tell some stories, teach some prayers, slokas, bhajan, something. She was not a singer, something. So got together, started. By that time, all the neighborhood children were coming. So about 15, 20 children were coming. And like that, so that's how Swami started in the beginning, this Balavika. Some 8, 9 ladies were sitting in Vrindavan and chatting. All the men were inside with Swami. So Swami came out suddenly and said, what your ladies are all sitting and doing, simply talking. What are you doing at home? A couple of them were working ladies, others were just. So Swami said, instead of wasting time, go and start Balavika. So that's how it started. And by that time, it grew a little bit. And he said, so Swami, my Balavikas class is there. Who will run, Swami, if I go all over the state, you go and start, he said. So she has to travel all over the state. And in those days, you know, in the smaller cities, women were all housewives. They were not coming out and doing all this, but the men used to do. But ladies will help them, you know, Narayan Seva, this and that. But they were not doing classes. So Swami, you know, he told her, you go there first and have meeting with the men. And you tell them you must encourage your wives to come and do Balavikas. So originally when he started, it's all women, because women, Swami said, have a natural nurturing this thing within them. They can do that. Then slowly, as the men also realize, they have now all over the world, we have Balavikas gurus who are also. But in the beginning of it. So Swami, who will take care of my class? About 4 or 5 classes all over Bangalore city. So I was sitting in the second or third row, you know, always there is hierarchy for things. Children are sent in the back. I was sitting somewhere. I was in 8th or 9th grade. So Swami, no chahi, he said, you do. So I am looking, my cousins are all older than me. He is telling one of my cousins to do something. He said, why he told to why are you looking this side and this side talking to you? I said, me, Swami, I'm in 9th grade. I said, who will listen to me? They are all my friends. How can I become Balavika's guru to my own friends? Nobody. And he said, why? When you are given a job, you must play that role. Life anta or a drama. He said, this whole life is one big drama. So whatever role is given to you, you should play that role to perfection. So if you become a Balavika's guru, put on that role and go. That's all. So that is how, at the age of 15 or 14 and a half, something, I became a Balavika's guru. And throughout that process also, Swami guided me. You can't do whatever you like and then go and sit in front of the class and tell. Just because you heard Swami. No, you can't. We tell all the children, Swami says you must come on time. And then if you go 15 minutes late because you are doing something, that's not going to work, right? So you have, see, that's how he trained me also to start practicing little by little by little. So he said, you remember Dr. Kariappa's house, how I went? You must be like that for Bali. Because I was still, Dr. Kariappa, General Kariappa was the first general of the Indian army after the British rule of India. He was the first general. Very tall man. Our Swami is a small, pretty, he's a tall man, but he was an ardent devotee of Swami. And whenever Swami will say, hey Kariappa, how are you? He will bend down. Even when he bends on his knees, he is almost like Swami's level. So tall. So he will bend down and literally squat down, So because you look at the great devotees, that's why I'm saying, that is why when we remember the great devotees, we will know why Swami has given, So he kneels down and Swami said, don't kneel down so much. He used to wear perfect suit and come to see Swami. And everybody will say, why this General Kariappa is coming in a suit, to see Swami. Everybody is wearing white clothes. This man is coming. And once he used to talk to us very much, Uncle, why are you always coming in a suit? He says, I am a general of the Indian army. He is the general of this universe. I have to salute him. So he used to bend down so much because he'll say that he is my higher officer. I can't stand eye to eye and talk to him. I have to keep my distance. So much to learn from these great devotees. So he used to come. And when he came, one of the days, he used to say, Swami, you must very formally, you must come to our house, Swami, and grace our house with your presence and all that. He used to tell me. So I said, okay, Kariappa, I will come to your house. So he was very happy, Swami, I will send car. And Padmanabh is there, he will. Padmanabh is my father. He will bring me. So, okay, General Kariappa, but if the Swami, you must come to high tea. He said, because he's very British trained general, you must come to high tea. No, he didn't say dinner, breakfast, lunch, nothing. High tea was something very big and thing. He said, all for big officers. Okay, Kariappa, high tea. I mean, tea tag, no coffee tag. I don't drink tea, I drink coffee, but I will come for your high tea. We are all there in that old bungalow of Vrindavan. Then he called me and said, Padmanabh, next week you have to go there, we will go to So, okay, Swami, all the date was taken. The day before going to Kariappa's house, every day my father is going to Vrindavan. My father is horrible with directions. He can find Vrindavan, his place of work and his home. Beyond that, he cannot find anything. And no GPS. I think if GPS was there, even GPS will get confused with the wrong turns my father takes. He was terrible. No, so Swami also knows that. So he said, Padmanabh, today after Vrindavan darshan is over, you go to General Kariappa's house. My mother and I are there. You go to General Kariappa's house and you go correctly from Vrindavan to Kariappa's house and you see what is the road. Because tomorrow you have to take me. Father will be searching. So find out the road and also find out how much time it takes. So my father said, so much better. I don't know how to find it. You go. Then it's how much time it says. So I said, how much time? What, Swami? What is the time? So he said, no, he told me high tea at 6 p.m. Swami. So 6 p.m. General has told, I can't go at 5:30 or I can't go at 6:30. To go at 6 o'clock. So find out how much time it takes so that we leave Vrindavan at that correct time. So my father and I, we nicely went and found out where General Kariappa's house. Not difficult to find, very famous general's house. We looked okay, we found it is taking some 40 minutes or some 39 minutes. Went home. So we arrived in Vrindavan. Swami gave his evening, 4:30 darshan. And we had told him, my father said, it takes about 39 minutes. Swami said, okay. Got in the car. I always used to go with my father to bring Swami to our house. And he said, after Karyappa's house, I will come to your house. Because Karyappa is invited for tea. Dinner, Swami has to come in the city. So he's coming to our house. So we come. So we left. Somehow, I don't know whether my father drove past then the previous day or the traffic lights were all green. I don't know. We arrived in 30 minutes, still 10 minutes is there. We are not just permission. Swami never wore a watch, and in those old day car, no clock and all in the car. He said, you have come 10 minutes early, Padmanabh. We cannot disturb him like that. You take a round here, and then we will go and take. So my father says, okay, Swami takes a round. He takes a round, now he doesn't know how to come back to Karyappa. Because he didn't practice that. This makes it perfect, Bhajans, tabla, we cannot just play kind of song. He didn't practice. In case I go in another road, how to come back, he didn't practice. That's what they have to think about. We went. I don't know how to go back to Karyappa. So Swami says, I'm a chapter. So Swami was our GPS, everything. Poor thing, he directed my father. We arrived correctly in the portico. All soldiers are there. A great general. You can Google and read about it. So we arrived there, so Swami, he tells at me, looks at me, he has not invited you. He knows Padmanabh is driving. You sit in the car, when I come, I will bring you biscuits. He told me. Went inside with my father. IT or whatever, he doesn't know who is in the car. He is used to chauffeur-driven car and all that. He is not seeing who is in the car. Okay, he didn't know nothing. He went there, Swami had. And after everything is over, he said, Karyappa, give me some biscuits, like that. He asked, I did, my father. After a nice IT, my Swami is asking for biscuits, right? And when he's leaving, okay, his wife, he says, no, Padmanabh's daughter is in the car, small girl. So you can imagine how he felt, So even for a general, when you invite someone, you check and see who is with them. It's okay, she's in the car. He gave biscuits and he brought me. But when he told me to become Balvika's Guru, I didn't lose my train of thought. You have to play the role of a Balvika's Guru. You remember Karyappa's incident? He told me after how many years? I was 7, this was 15. I was 15. I had to rack my brain. What? You have to be on time before you tell the children to be on. Timing is important. Previous day, he made us practice the run. Then he came early, he said, you should not go and unnecessarily disturb as a guest. Go too early and disturb them. They may not be ready. They may be running around in their house clothes or whatever, and you can't arrive too soon in somebody's house. All these things, Swami, the way he used to teach us, how to be a Balvika's Guru, how to be a devotee through Konama, all these small things we have learned by watching him, hearing him, yet to practice, yet to learn, but still wanting him to be our guide in every way, and praying that having been born in this body, not to make it a useless birth which is focused completely around the world, on the world around us, but to be focused and understand that these eyes are given to see him or the Lord that we like. It could be anybody. The ears have been given to listen to his glory. The hands are given to do. He has created such a beautiful institution. I was just there in the media center 2 months ago in Shanti. Those people, the amount of work that they are doing, it is just mind-boggling. How much work. Their work is giving so much to the world. They are able to see every single program. Those who cannot go to Prashanti, they are able to see sitting in it. How much work they are doing. Then I went to See the hospital also, doctor will know the amount of work that they are doing, that Swami has created for us so that we can serve, Swami with a wave of his hand like Konamma, he could have cured her. But why did he give that experience? Now, after 55 years, I am sharing with a group of people who will remember Konamma whenever they have to do anything. That is the reason why he gives that experience. So, we can only pray that he will continue to shower his grace and love on us. And we see that and experience that and really realize that this body is given to us to do his work in different ways. Whatever our skills may be, we do, each of us know our own skills, how we can do it. With these words and prayer to him, remembering him on this Aradhana. Thank you all, brothers and sisters, for going through my journey again with me and giving you this opportunity this morning and listening so intensely to what I'm saying. Like I said, I am also still learning all those lessons. I keep reminding myself, why do I have these feet? Why do I have these hands? I keep reminding myself, and I continue to do it. But having heard from him, I'm sharing it with you, and I hope you will take it in that spirit. Thank you, sir. It's as you know, in for me. In 1969, I was a kid, and at that time he was not the Vice President of India; he was the Governor, B.D. Jatti, great politician and an ardent devotee of Swami, who used to come regularly. He was the Governor of Karnataka, I believe, at that time. I'm not 100% sure. He later on became the Vice President of India. He was to visit Swami. And, some preparations because he was going to come. And those were the days, Swami would tell my mother and other ladies to make sure proper food was there ready for him. We don't know how many people will come with him. So just to make sure that he's comfortable. And of course, my father, who you have seen him in the video, he used to be behind Swami. So he had to make sure arrangements were made for people who came with him to be seated properly and all that. So this was the days of the old bungalow in Bangalore, not Trai Brindavan as you see it now. So we, one of the jobs that I had as a kid, all my cousins had the jobs of sweeping and mopping the place. The boy cousins and all went and cleaned Swami's room. Water was kept by my father. The whole bungalow was basically taken care of us, a few devotees of those times. There were not this many people. Now, when we have Akhanda Bhajans and all that, everybody will sign up for doing altar, But when the retreat is over, nobody will sign up for cleanup. But in our case, because Swami used to be there all the time, we all wanted to be for cleanup. Because Swami is there in that bungalow, walking around after darshan. Other people, anyway, 1 hour they sing and go. But inside, Swami is there. So we all want to clean up. My cousins all had, simply unnecessarily, they will be dusting the same thing, wiping the same thing, so that they are hanging around. And because it was all mostly family members, there was not such a strict restriction as we have now of men and women. We had the run of the place. So I was also thinking, I was generally being a nuisance, I think, because I didn't really have a job in 1969, 12, 13 years old, 12 years old. So I was hanging around there, and one of the jobs, Swami said, what is the simply eating and doing nothing? What is your work? I said, nobody is giving me a job. So, this is a beautiful thing he said. He said, nobody has to give a job. You must look around, be alert, see what somebody needs and do that. Nobody has to come and call you and say, here is a job for you. Be aware, be alert, Swami says. Now look around. In fact, when I was going to some country or the other to speak, he told me in Puttaparthi, they will ask you to speak in the radio station, be ready. Some place radio station, they had one channel and they want to know. I said, I know, what is all this radio station? I'm scared what questions they will ask me, this press people. He said, so that man said, I believe you are a Sai Baba devotee. What does the word mean? He asked, So I gave the usual, Divine Mother, Divine Father, all those. Then I suddenly remembered what he had told to my children. What does Baba mean? I said, how do you spell Baba? How do you spell Sai Baba? They spelled it. They were 10 years old, my twins. So he said, what is the meaning? So very nicely taught children from the Balavikas Gurus, Divine Mother and Swami, Mother Swami, Divine Mother and Father. They taught. Swami said, no. We should never give, that's what I learned, never give an answer to Swami. Better to say, I don't know. Because whatever answer you give, he will give the other answer, different answer. But poor thing, my children. Then he said, no, that's not it. You know what? BA, how do you spell? SAIBA. In America, which word do you use first? Last name. And Arun Ram means they'll say Mr. Ram, Mrs. Mohanram, like that. So my last name, Baba. What does that mean? Something they said. So he said, no, Baba means be aware, be alert. B-A-B-A. Be aware, be alert. What? To be alert. Be aware, be alert of your surroundings. Look around. First of all, is this physical body safe? Are you in a place where you are safe? Are you parked properly? Is there a light? All the things, we tell our children, right? Especially, be aware. Then after next level, look around and see if somebody around you requires some help from you. Be aware, be alert. Somebody, you will see, I always tell this to our Balavikas SSSC children, I think. The children will be coming to the Sai Center. Elders will be coming to the Sai Center. Children will open the door and go in, and it will bang in the face of the elderly person behind them. Because they are rushing to the class. So be aware, do you need to open the door for somebody who is having a heart attack? We meet in a school in South Bethesda. Those doors are so heavy, I cannot even open those doors. So I always need my husband to open, whether he is doing it chivalrously or not, he has to do it because I can't do it. So be aware, be alert. Does anybody need that? Next level is be aware, be alert for us, all spiritual aspirants. Be aware of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Be aware. So 3 different levels. First at individual level, then at a Sangha community level, and then at your own internal level. Be aware, be alert. Then my little fellow son said, Swami, but you forgot your first name. Sai. Only last time you are explaining. So he said, if you are be aware, be alert. If you practice this, then Bangaru, see Sai always in all. S-A-I. See Sai. A, always. I in all. That will automatically happen. You don't have to do anything. See Sai always. So anyway, I was going around in this bungalow with no work to do. So Swami said, what? Did you look around to see if any help was needed by anybody? No, everybody was busy. Then there was one dining room in that old bungalow. Then there was a small altar like this, not small actually, a nice sized altar. This is a altar. You have a lovely place to meet. And there were a lot of Swami's pictures and all the garlands, people used to garland Swami. All the garlands were brought and garlanded. These pictures, all Swami's different poses, pictures were all garlanded. So those garlands will become dry after some time. Somebody has to take out the old garland. And this thing. But what happens, you go on taking out the old garland, we all do that in our own homes also, I think. The dry flowers fall behind the photos. Nobody will move that. Only the front we will be cleaning. They'll be taking out the garland. So Swami said, you have no work, look behind those photos, how much dry flowers in there, sit and clean. So he gave me one job. So every weekend, after the evening bhajans, this was my job. I had to move these big pictures, and look behind, take out all the dry flowers, sweep it up and all these things. So I used to do that very diligently, slowly. I think many of you may have heard this story. I know I started with something else, but I'll come back to it. So one day, and this is a commitment, especially if you are a Balavikas Guru, bhajan singer, harmonium player, tabla player, you give a commitment, you have to stick to that commitment. So this was my commitment. I asked for it also, that too. If you keep quiet, that's one thing. Nobody gives me a song to sing, a chance to sing bhajans, we will complain. But when they give you a chance, you will come late. So that doesn't work with Swami, So I asked for a job, he gave me a job. I was doing this, but one weekend, this M.S. Subbalakshmi, very famous singer of India, she was going to give a concert in Bangalore, proper city. I want to go to that concert, And I don't want to come and clean these pictures, the same old photo, same old Swami, same old garlands. I'm seeing him every time. MS Subbalakshmi comes once or twice in the year, especially during Ram Navami time. So I told my mother, I don't want to come and clean all this weekend. I want to go. There are 2 concerts. I want to go there. My mother and father, they were very, very principled, very, very strict. Not nowadays, if the children, they are always bargaining with the children. If you come to Bal Vikas, I will let you watch Nintendo. Whatever to watch now, I'm talking about my time. If you sing in the bhajan and practice before, I will take you to the football game. All sorts of. We were the way we all grew up, and many of you will be familiar with it. You are in my house, I am feeding you and clothing you. Get on over to the car and get in there. And come to the bhajan. That's how we are. So there was no question of all this bargaining. So I told my mother, please, I want to go. She said, you have committed to Swami to clean the thing every weekend. You can't just suddenly now say. So I said, no, why don't you do it? No, we want to pass the buck on. One day you can do it for me. So good I am. Week after week I am doing. Why can't you? My mother said, I didn't commit, you committed. I was like 11 years or something. You committed, you have to come. So with a lot of this thing at home, discussions which was allowed only, some amount, I couldn't do anything. First of all, they have to buy me the ticket for MS Subbalakshmi's concert. There itself, the program is gone. I don't have money to buy. No pocket money, this and that, no going and earning in Walmart, all those things. So to say, I have my own money, if you don't give, I can go and buy. All that we didn't have opportunity. So we came, So I came to put up, Vrindavan. Bhajan got over, darshan got over, we all came. Normally such a nice thing, everybody is hanging there, unnecessarily cleaning the windows and all. I told him, I am supposed to clean this altar. Flowers are fallen. I took out I'm just keeping this same old photo. These people have no other brains. Why do they put so many garlands to Swami? And all these other things. Swami is wandering around talking to this person and that one. Then he came and he said, hey, what is this guy? Why are you banging up my photo like this? Those drink as well, somebody gave you castor oil. So what can I say? I want to go to Subbalakshmi instead of seeing you. I can't say like that. So I said, no, tell me, what happened? What happened? No, nothing, Swami. You forget, it was nothing, Swami. So he's a master psychologist. He said, Amma, she said she won't help you. Mother said she won't help you today. Oh, he's on my side, right? I said, yes, Swami. She said, oh, what you wanted to go somewhere today? You didn't want to clean this? I know you asked Amma, Papa, Mrs. Poor thing. You asked Amma, one day can't you help me? And she said, no, you have to come. Commitment. Yes, Swami. Now, you're really feeling good about yourself, right? Mom is in big trouble here. So I said, yes, Swami. She had wanted to. Where did you want to go? He knows this, but he's acting, he doesn't know that. You see the mistake. He knows my mother has said no, but he's asking, where did you want to go? This is the Maya that he puts, it's the illusion. So I said, Swami, Miss Subbalakshmi has come, Swami. I wanted to go for the concert. Oh, Papa, this is so sad. Miss Subbalakshmi comes once a year, Papa. Swami is here all the time. Swami is here all the time. Once a day. I sympathize with you. Then he said one thing. See what Swami used to do in those days, after the darshan, which would get over around 5:30, just like you're all familiar with Trahi session, what these boys call. In our days, there was no Trahi session. What our session? He will come and sit in the thing, and if he has liked some bhajan in the outside public, that lady, if the singer is there, he'll say, you sang very nicely, I said, sing that bhajan. Or he will ask, anybody has any questions, you ask. So if you ask some question, he will answer. So like that question answer, some singing would happen. Just all of us will be small group. So when Swami starts at 6 o'clock till 7:30 till Swami's dinner time, very casual group, 15, 20 people, this session will go on. So he said, I know, Bangaru, today, what time is the concert? 7 o'clock. So he says, it's still 5:30, 5 o'clock now. Before darshan, all this is happening. So I'll finish darshan and I will come. Today, don't want just 1 or 2 bhajans is enough. Don't want all this question and answer session and all those things. Just some 1 or 2 bhajan we'll sing inside. Then from here you go to the concert. So I said, oh, very nice, Swami has understood. So these cousins are there. They are all singers. These singers always want to sing everything in front of Swami. Even if they are outside, again they want to sing in front. So these cousins are all very good singers. I was not. So I said, hey, today Swami is saying, and they all like Sublakshmi also. So Swami is saying the concert is there. If we can go there. So you people don't start that Manasa Vajare Guru Charanam and all some long songs don't start. Sing short, 2-3 bhajans, we can all go to the Mandir. So, what did Swami say like that? Yeah, Swami said that. Then there's always 1 or 2 have lot of questions. Same questions they'll be asking. 1 year, I'm going to auntie, don't ask any questions today, auntie. We want to go. So all well prepared, so we are done in half an hour and we can get out of this place. All sitting. Swami came as usual and we sat down. He said, we just have some 1 or 2 bhajan, somebody quickly said. The idea was what? After bhajan, you have to end, right? That's what Swami said. Suddenly he's sitting there and he says, Em samacharam. What news is there? You should not ask what news. Then these ladies will tell my daughter didn't get married. My son is going for exams. Swami is not getting seats. Swami, all that will start. And instead of saying questions, he's saying, boy, em samacharam. This is an even major problem. He told me like this, to go this em samacharam business, we know. It will go on for 1 hour. So no chance from Brindavan to drive to Bangalore, then buy a ticket. She's a very famous singer. You won't get tickets also. I finished. I just sat. It is gone. This case is gone. I'm talking suddenly, Swami, this Emi Samacharam is going on. Suddenly he's sitting on the chair and he got up. Everybody wait. Oh, he's going inside now, telling everybody to wait also. So half the concert also we can't hear. So chance is gone. Gets up and goes, somebody has come 1 minute. Then he goes to the front veranda, where the old veranda. Many of you will have seen there, Swami will be sitting at the back. There is a big peacock that used to be Swami's sitting room type of, as soon as you enter. If you see any video, you can remember. It's a huge peacock mural painted on the wall. That is the room. We are all waiting and waiting. Swami comes almost 10-15 minutes later, and behind him, MS Subbalakshmi, violinist, mridangam player. Everybody, whole gym bands have come, And what is this lady at a concert? She has come here. Then Swami came and very nicely in Tamil, I don't know Tamil very well, said, Enna Subbalakshmi, Apdi irke, how are you, Subbalakshmi? Such a humble, what a lady she was. So she answers Swami. And then, concert illaya? Swami says, don't you have concert today? So no, Swami. In those days, newspaper, no flyer and all, like so nicely Sandhya made. No flyer. So he says, Swami, you made a printing mistake in the newspaper. Concert is tomorrow. So today I came from Chennai, Madras used to say, to see you have your darshan before concert. Romba Santosham. Who is always, she's a violinist, mridangam, all kanjira, everybody is there. So then Swami says, there is one person here who likes a lot your songs. Maybe you can. So she says, Swami, may I give a small performance for you, Swami? Can you sing? Yes, Swami, whichever. I have some songs. Can I ask you? Swami said, you won't believe it, brothers and sisters. All the songs that I used to always listen to her, which I like, one after the other, 7 songs or 8 songs, he made her give a performance for 1 hour 15. And every time he'll say, Broche Marevaruna, she'll sing Broche Marevaruna. Some, and Annamacharya's Kriti, so many Kritis, she sings and every time says, he'll say like that. So she's singing what you. And everything she finished, he blessed her. She also left. Time for us to go. Then he said, when you do your duty, then only Bhagwan will come to you. She said, Duty change. Even without liking it, you have done your duty, but you stuck to your commitment. See, she only came here. Unnecessarily, you got upset with Amma. You got upset with me. You thought I'm giving long lecture. Do your duty sincerely. Bhagwan will be there with you. Bhagwan will be there with you. So this was this. So I am this small girl in there, and this Bidi Jati, I haven't forgotten. That fellow is going, that gentleman is going to come. So Swami said, suddenly he called me in the middle of all this cleaning business and says, you know, tomorrow that Bidi Jati is coming. He was the governor or something. He's coming tomorrow. Swami is just starting the Arts and Science College, 1969. So he said, I want you to speak ahimsa paranga matlad. Speak about ahimsa, non-violence. In front of them. In front of whom, Swami? In front of them. No, Swami, what? I can't speak. In a small I was. He said, no, you can speak. All the time you're listening to what I'm saying. You can speak with him. So anyway, I'm a small girl. I'm feeling very proud, you know, in front of the governor of Karnataka, in front of Swami is there always, but governor of Karnataka is there now. So I'm going to speak in front of him and all that. So he came, and of course my mother, she made me write down everything I know about non-violence. I wrote it down, then standing in front of the mirror and mugging it up, you know, because you can't hold paper and all that in front of someone. So everything, I'm so ready. Next day we are there. Swami gave darshan, Sri Jati Garu. He came inside. He's sitting there near that peacock room. We ladies are inside room, not with the men. So inside that room, once everybody started to come, you know, I became like a nervous wreck. I can't speak in front. All these great people have come. Oh God, so many people are there, and what? I started to tell me that I cannot speak about this. I started to cry and everything, and Swami is sitting there and with the gentleman, ladies just in the other room. You can hear what Swami is saying, you can see from the side. Then he got up and he came inside, and I'm standing in the back, and he asked my mother, where is Geetha Ma? So Swami, she's getting very scared. She doesn't want to talk, Swami. Where is she? Where is she? I said, Swami, please, Swami, I can't talk in front of them. Nothing. And I'm holding. He said, you wrote everything yesterday and you learned everything. Yes, Swami. He sees my long piece. He said, oh my goodness, you're going to talk so much? So you can imagine this thing, as it is, I don't want to talk, and because he's saying I'm talking too much. I don't know what he's saying now. But anyway, they're talking too much. I prepared. What did you prepare about non-violence? Said, Swami, we should not hit anybody. Now, as a child, we should not hit anybody, scold anybody, be mean, something, whatever I understood as a child. So see, Swami, he says, you won't hit somebody, because if you hit, what? Are they fools to be simply standing there? They'll hit you back. If you hit somebody, nobody will simply stand there. They will hit you. If you scold them, they'll scold you back. That is not non-violence, he said. You are keeping quiet because you are scared. Not because you are practicing love and honor. That's not. So now he is even shooting down my talk, what I wrote down also. I said, see, Swami, I don't know what to say, Swami. I am not going to talk anything. Somebody else. So then he said, this is not non-violence. You are not doing something because you are scared of it. You know what non-violence really? I don't know, Swami. You only explain, Swami. You know, I should explain in front of him. You wait, he said. He went to his bedroom. You won't believe it. I have the actual piece of paper at home, which I have framed. I don't want to carry it with me. But this is what he came out of the bedroom with a newspaper cutting. Can you imagine? Newspaper cutting. This is what is in the newspaper cutting. Okay, Swami gives it. He reads this. Okay, smile. That's what Brother Tree wrote. A smile costs nothing, but gives much. It enriches those who receive without making poorer those who give it. It takes but a moment, but the memory of it sometimes lasts forever. None is so rich or mighty that he can get along without it, and none is so poor that he cannot be made rich by it. A smile creates happiness in the home, fosters goodwill in business, and is the countersign of friendship. It brings rest to the weary, cheer to the discouraged, sunshine to the sad, and it is nature's best antidote for trouble. Yet, it cannot be bought, begged, borrowed, or stolen, for it is something that is of no value to anyone until it is given away. Some people are too tired to give you a smile. Give them one of yours, as none needs a smile so much as he who has no more to give. It says, on it he has written, Geetha, January 1969. So in 1969, he said, this is non-violence. It starts with a smile. It starts with a smile. You go and read that. So I tried to practice that and it went on. And by nature, I am also generally a person who is a gregarious person. I like people. I feel that Swami brings all these people into my life and I'm very grateful for it. So it went on. So the smile is there. Many, many years later, in 1978, Swami suddenly fixed my marriage with my husband Mohanram. You don't know him. I don't know him. His family lives in Delhi. My family lives in Bangalore. And my aunt who lived in Delhi wrote one letter to my father just around that Navratri, Dasara time in Prashantinilayam. She wrote a letter to my mother saying that I'm going to the Sai Center here in New Delhi. There is a Sai devotee family. And they are very nice people. Mother sings bhajans and all that. They have a son in Bangalore, working in Bangalore. And I know that Geetha only wants to marry a Sai devotee boy. Why don't you ask Swami? Because they know we ask Swami for everything. She has written this letter. And we came back from Dasara celebrations in Parthi. I came to Bangalore and this letter was waiting. So my mother and Swami came right after Dasara. In those days, right after a festival, he used to come to Bangalore because Prasanthi Nilayam didn't have the fantastic facilities they have now. So unless Swami moved out of there, devotees used to stay for a long time under the trees and all that. So it was difficult to provide so much food, canteens and all. So if he came to Bangalore, devotees would disperse. So he came. So my father had to go back to duty in Vrindavan. My father's work was always in Vrindavan. He was a doctor, so he could not live in Prasanthi Nilayam. He used to come to. So that day Swami had come and my father had to go for afternoon for his work in Vrindavan. And in the car we went because in the car my father asked me. I had just completed my final year BSc. And Swami had asked me to do Montessori training. He had asked me to do early childhood development. So we were driving to Vrindavan and my father asked me, see, this letter has come. Shall I ask Swami about this boy? Because somebody or the other, in India, once you are a teenager, some alliance or the other, somebody will be suggesting. I used to shoot down everything. No, if he's not a side. In those days, there were not this many side devotees also. I don't want to. So we were going. So my father was a very quiet man for anybody who has met him. Very quiet, opposite to me. So I said, you will ask Swami, whatever you'll ask with this letter. Swami will tell you something and you will come and tell us whatever Swami told in one sentence or half a sentence. He will say, I asked Swami, he said yes or he said no, whatever, about this boy. I said, I don't want such an answer. So my father said, whatever Swami tells, that is the main thing, isn't it? Whether he's saying yes or no. I'm coming and telling you that, my father said. I said, no, I want to know what you told Swami, or what words you used, then what words Swami used to tell about it. This doesn't work. Swami has to tell me. I am the person who is getting married. Swami has to tell me. So my father said, I cannot tell Swami. If he tells me, go and tell Geetha. Are you crazy? So I said, I don't know. I am getting married. If he wants me to get married to somebody, he has to tell me. I don't know what you ask him. You don't come and tell properly. And my mother is also saying, yes, you should come and tell properly. She's not saying he should come and tell me. She's saying, you should come and tell properly whatever you hear. Why don't you listen properly? All wives tell their husbands. Why don't you listen properly and come and tell me what happened there? So whatever. So my father got very upset. We were driving to He said, what is this nonsense? In our days in India, these marriages were all arranged marriages. Girls were not going and asking such questions. And whatever talking happened between the parents of the boy's family, girl's family, they did not say, they did not force us to marry. We could say yes or no, but the main talking happened between the elders. So my father said, I cannot tell Swami to come. What will Swami think? If I say, Swami, you go and tell Geetha. What will he think? I can't do all those things. What is it? My father said, he has no time to do all these things. Swami is very busy with the Vice Chancellor is coming to today in the evening. Swami is busy with meeting. He's not going to come and tell you all those things. So I said, oh, they're singing Kala Titaya, Siddhi Rupaya, beyond time, beyond this, beyond that. He should have time in his control. Right? What do you mean he doesn't have time? Singing all this bhajan after bhajan, we are singing Kala Titaya. So, my father, what you said, the generation of parents were not used to this type of arguing. He said, this is all nonsense. I'm not going to ask him anything. What is this? You're talking. And of course, my poor mother got scolded. What is this? You're raising her like that. As for he has no participation. Raising her like this. So my mother also, why are you talking like this? All that happened. And we reached Vrindavan. It started to rain like crazy. Bhajan is going on. It was a Thursday. Under the tree, that old tree we had with the Krishna statue is there. So we arrived there. It is by that time, Mr. Krishnan, who was the Sevadal chief for our Vrindavan, came running out. Sir, come, Swami is asking for you. He's not coming out for bhajan today because of the rains, but he's calling you. He came running to tell my father. So my mother and I, we got out of the car in front of that hostel, that first hostel, and we are standing there and under one of the trees. Bhajan is going under this main tree. My father started to run inside because Swami has already come down. He went there, Swami has come out, and my mother said, anyway, simply unnecessary, we argued, Swami is not even coming. We are talking like this. 10 minutes later, you see the Karunamurti, these people are all singing, waiting for Swami's bhajan to do aarti. Suddenly, Swami's car came. He sat in the car and he went round and round the tree, giving darshan to everybody from inside, waving his handkerchief to everybody. And then he came close to the tree and stopped and got out in the rain and went to take aarti. My mother and I were under something. From there, before they were still singing, before they started aarti, he called us, My mother and I, from that tree, we ran there. And when I went there, his bhajan is going on. Every day that Mani Auntie, all those Parvati Mahadev and all these ladies who were singing, they would remember all the time. It's holding my ear, I went near the thing. Kala Titayana. I have time under my control. I must tell you, Padmanabh chapter, no use telling your father what is the use. You are getting married. Padmanabh is already married. Oh, in front of him, my God, So this letter which my aunt has written is still in my father's pocket. It has not even come out. All this. And he said, I'm telling you, you get married to that fellow. Padmanabh, go home and call that boy's family. Tell them to come on Sunday. I am settling Geetha's marriage. We don't know who these people are. They are living in Delhi. This is our Swami. My father said, yes, sir. Then my mother, poor thing, this is all connected with the smile. I didn't go off in a time. So my mother said, Swami, today's Thursday, Friday morning, we have to go to a place called Mangalore. In Mangalore, there was a Balavika's Guru's training program, for which I am one of the speakers. I am speaking about Ahimsa and what's the story, techniques of storytelling, some topics my mother has given. She was the state coordinator for SSSGC. So Swami Geetha and I, we have to go to Mangalore. Swami, she's giving a talk. We are only coming back on Monday morning. And Swami saying, tell the boys' family, come on Sunday, I'll settle marriage. Oh, okay. So Swami said, no, you go and you start inauguration of the program and you come. Because there were other gurus also who were trainers. They are all there. Sunandamma is there, Kusma Kumari is there. They will conduct the program. You come back. Geetha has 2 topics. Then he picked the Gurus also, he said, tell this lady to do this topic, that lady to do this topic. Don't take Geetha. And he says, that in those days, night bus, we had to go, Mangalore bus, you know. So you have to take a night bus and come. She'll come back with a long face, all looking so tired. No boy will agree to marry her. So tired she's going to look. This thing. So you just in front of the mirror practice how to smile. He said, how to smile in front of Swami and some Sunday I don't know from Adam as this. Then he came. And you imagine my poor father's plight. This is on Thursday in the middle of the rain. He has to come now to the house. He called his sister and said, hey, you said some Sai devotees have some son in Bangalore. Who are they? Even before we can find out anything, Swami is saying you settled this marriage with this one. My aunt got really petrified. She said, no, I have not asked them anything. I just see them in the Sai center and I know they have a son. I don't know if they are interested or not. What is this? My father said, I don't know. You wrote this letter. Now Swami is saying, tell them to come on Sunday. So she said, I can't call them up like this. I'll give you the phone number. You only call. So imagine my poor father's plight, calling from Bangalore to some unknown man and saying, Sai Ram, I believe you are a Sai devotee. Swami is saying that he wants to get my daughter married to your son. What type of devotees they are, we don't know. They are new devotees, old devotees. They are willing to surrender like we are. So they prepare the dead silence on the phone. Then that man is saying, what is your name? My father, it is excitement for him. Then he introduced me, I am Dr. Padmanabhan. I believe, what is it? He said, I am Dr. VNS Murthy. Oh, this is what is thing. We went to Vrindavan. And he said, my sister is so and so, Sunanda Murthy. They knew my aunt from the Sai Center. Oh, then they said, our son is working in Bangalore, but we don't know whether he will agree to this. Suddenly, if you call and say, Swami is going to get you married, he may not. We have to ask him. So my father said, you please ask him and let us know. So they said, what about your daughter? Swami has told her she will listen. Do you imagine how crazy they must be thinking our whole family? So because we don't know them. They said, okay. And after about, it was about 8 o'clock in the night. After we came from Vrindavan, 9:30 or something, they called. And they are more shocked. He said, we called our son in Bangalore. He is saying, why are you asking? If Swami said marry her, I'll marry her. It doesn't matter who she is. So they were like, I don't know. Son said, now they are wondering about their son also. Living alone in Bangalore, what is happening to this fellow? So, he's telling like this. I said, okay, if that is what he is saying, then tomorrow morning, Friday, we will go and inform Swami. I had to tell, because Swami said, come and tell me tomorrow what they said. So next day morning, Friday morning, we go, and my father said, Swami, I called them. He said, I know all that. Swami said, I know all that. You tell them to come on Sunday, I am fixing. So again, we came back, called them. So they said, okay, there was one flight in those days, Indian Airlines flight from Delhi to Bangalore. So they called my father, and they said, we'll get back to you. Hopefully, we'll get ticket. It's this, his parents and his sister were there in Delhi. He's got one more brother here in California. Then they called back and said, no tickets are available to come on Sunday or even Saturday evening. What to do? We don't know, Dr. Padmanabhan. My father said, if Swami said he will see you on Sunday, you will get the tickets. You keep on trying. You know? So anyway, after the following day, Saturday morning, they called. So we got exactly 3 tickets. 3 tickets were cancelled. We are come. So we don't know who they are. My father said, you please meet us directly from the airport in Vrindavan gate. We will also meet you. So they arrived, you know. And then we went in there into Vrindavan gate and to that old portico of that old bungalow. Swami gathers everybody. And so nicely, we don't know them, they don't know us. We gather them, and then Swami introduced, this is Dr. Padmanabhan. He is a dental surgeon doctor. He looks after teeth. This is Dr. VNS Murthy. He is a doctor in soil foundations or soil mechanics. He is a mud doctor with pallu doctor. He is a doctor of mud, soil. He is a doctor of teeth. So he so sweetly introduces. Then he tells that, you know, Geetha I have brought her up from her birth. So I have told her to marry your son if all the elders are agreeable, because in a marriage, elders also have to get along with each other. So if the elders are agreeable, I will. So everybody what is whatever Swami says. And for my in-laws, this was the first time they were having an interview. They were just devotees who used to go to the Sai Center. My mother-in-law was a good singer. She used to sing. And whenever Swami went to Delhi, she used to sing in Mr. Kulwant Rai's house and come. And she had Pad Namaskar, no conversation ever. They had become devotees somewhere in 73, 74. They had no interaction with Swami at all in the physical form, like us. For us, it was easier, isn't it? So we think. So then he talked about and everybody said yes. Then Swami said to you, after my birthday, I will do the marriage. You go and get a couple of dates from the priest, good dates. And he talked about that. He didn't say anything to my husband. He called me, there was a whole lot of rose bushes next to Swami's bungalow there, even now. You come with me, he said like that. So he took me, there was a path, in the garden. He took me there, some further away. See, many times the young adults ask, oh, Swami is so dictatorial, he just tells people what to do. No. He took me, he knows that he has to ask the right person also. He took me there and then he said, this is a dangerous question. He saw the boy. If I say yes, I don't know what he'll say, what you're standing there looking at all the boys. If I say no, not the truth, he's standing there right in front of me. So, best policy, silence is the best policy. So I kept quiet. Did you say that? And then I kept quiet. He said, see, shall I tell you one secret? See, the secret is this. Anybody who sees anybody, they can only see the outside form of that person. What education they have, what looks they have, how they dress, all the outside. But you know the secret? I can see the inside of the person. I can see the heart. I can see his past, present, future, his heart, everything I can see. I'll tell you, he's a very good person. He will bring you closer to me if you marry. He said. So my only mother, whatever you say, I'll do Swami. Whatever you say, I'll do Swami. No, Sai devotee. You only said you want a Sai devotee. He's a Bhagavat Bhakta. He's a God-fearing boy, a good boy. But I'm telling you, I said, whatever you say, I'll do Swami. That's all I wanted Swami to tell me. I didn't want third party involvement. That's all. So then he told her that. Then he said, okay, see the love of the mother. How can you not want to see it? So he said, one day we started to walk, then he turned, Bangaru, I just want to tell you something. If for some reason you don't like that boy, you tell me now. You tell me now if you don't want. Imagine if Swami tells you to marry someone and you are telling no, forget, Swami will be very kind. I don't know what is waiting for me in the house from my parents. After so many years. So he says, don't marry the elders. If you don't want to marry that boy for any reason, you tell me now. I will go and say, I changed my mind. I won't say you changed your. I will say, I changed. Nobody will get upset with you. I will say, I do. I said to him, Swami, can you tell like that? If I am saying I changed my mind, how can you? He says, no, if you change your mind, I will also change my mind. I am not telling untruth. If you don't want to tell me, I will go and say, I changed my mind. Nobody will scold you. They will only think I am not being right. Don't. So, no, Swami, whatever you say, I will do. Then it's okay. He's a very good boy. He will bring you close. Why he goes to go down so close? He has never talked to Swami also. This man is going to bring me closer to Swami. How is that possible? From birth, I'm sitting in his lap and when you're in the car, all that. Whatever. That explains everything. Swami fixed my marriage. He performed a 3-day wedding in Prashantini, Brindavan. At that time, that the second hostel was built. They had not yet inaugurated. The college boys were supposed to occupy. So he said, no, before those boys occupy, you all use that hostel for the cooking and everything because they have the huge kitchen to cook for the hostel boys. You all sleep there in that hostel. You inaugurate it for an auspicious occasion like a marriage. After the marriage, the boys can occupy the hostel. So my marriage, all the wedding, cooking, all of us went and stayed the previous day in the hostel, in that second hostel. And everything, I mean, every single thing he participated in, in the wedding. But the good lesson that he gave me when the wedding was over, see, it is all very nice. The wedding is for one day, marriage is forever. No? So all the wedding thing, he called us all for interview in the evening. He came for the wedding, materialized Mangal, so all the usual, whatever auspicious things had to be done, he did. He came for, that is the only time they had this huge wedding lunch, on banana leaves for my husband and myself. Though he was sitting on men's side, I was sitting, and Swami's table was like this thing. They put so much food. Swami is sitting here, I'm sitting like this. And how can we eat like that in front of Swami, chewing all this food, so much of food? So I was just looking at him. And everybody had started to eat. Then for once he says, don't eat if you can't, you eat later. He told me that. That's the only time like that. I tasted also. So anyway, all that got over. Then in the evening, he called us all for interview. And at that time, he said, Bangaru, you remember what I told Murthy when I introduced you? I said, she's like my daughter. I brought her up from my birth. I'm like your parent, I told it. It's for all of us, right? So, Puttinillu, Mettinillu, the house that you are born in and the house that you step in. You should bring a good name to both homes. Both homes. Because if you don't behave in the right way, they will say, Swami Somcha, iti ammai nakichara. They say, did Swami give me such a girl? They will say, no. Or they can say, did Swami give me such a girl? Same word. Swami gave me such a girl. No? Or they can say, Swami gave me such a girl. The difference is in the nuance, how you are telling. So in your life, when you are dealing in your life, remember the nuances. The statement may be straightforward, but there are a lot of intricacies in how we lead our life, how we surround ourselves with what we surround ourselves. You remember that. What a message he gave me. Swami, such a girl he gave me. Or I can say, such a girl, same sentence. So like that, my marriage happened and I went on. And every year for my birthday, starting from my 10th birthday, I used to, only on my birthday, I used to take flowers for, because I used to have to clean the garlands then. So only on my birthday, I was taking this thing, flowers for Swami. When he was in Vrindavan, he used to come, birthday na. Say, how old are you? 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10 na. So I felt it was not a thing. I was used to that. When I came to my 20th birthday, I was not yet married. He came, oh, birthday na? How old are you? He asked me. 20. So, oh, 20. What are the numbers in 20? 2 and 0, Swami. I'm bad at math, but that much I know. 2 and 0. Oh, 2 and 0. What does that mean? What is the 2 and 0? I don't know, Swami. What? Oh, nothing. It means at the age of 20, you develop Shraddha and Bhakti. Shraddha, sincerity, and Bhakti, devotion. Develop Shraddha and sincerity and devotion towards the Lord. Start practicing that age of 20. That's what you need, to continue. Okay, nice birthday. So for some time, we all do, after the study circle, we will be remembering ourselves. Shraddha and Bhakti, Shraddha and Bhakti. Then 20 happened, 21 happened. Birthday, took flowers, nothing happened. So it went on my life. 30th birthday came. I was in the US, I went. Oh, birthday na. How old are you? 30. Becoming old, 30. Yes. What numbers in 30? 3 and 0. Then also it didn't account. 10 years have passed. So, what does 3 and 0 mean? I don't know, Swami. Trikarana Shuddhi, purity of thought, word and action. Start practicing Trikarana Shuddhi. That doesn't mean leave out Shraddha and Bhakti. By 10 years, if you have practiced Shraddha and Bhakti, by the time you reach 30, you should be able to purify your thought, words and actions. If you are practicing sincerity and devotion for 10 years, after 10 years, you should be able to have some purity of thought, word and action. Go and practice. Sorry, 30 went on, something went on. 40th birthday also, I was there. Oh, you are becoming very old. He said 40. What are the numbers in 40? 4 and 0. So now I know this trend now, right? So I don't want to give any suggestions. So I said, I don't know something. 4 and 0. By the time I'm married, I have children. You see, I'm in the samsara, in this worldly land. That means, Bangaru, you know the 4 purusharthas. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. 4 purusharthas are there. The principles by which to live. Dharma, Artha. Dharma means righteous life. Artha means wealth, Kama, desire. Moksha is there, liberation. But what does that mean? Dharma, Artha, earn your money, your Artha, the wealth, in a dharmic way, in a righteous way. Dharma and Artha, they go together. Dharmically earn your money. Kama, moksha. Kama means you must have desire for moksha. To earn your money dharmically, but the desire should be on moksha, not what I can buy with that money. Desire for moksha, but you really need money to lead this life. We all need money. We have to lead a life. We have families, we have children. You remember that. Go. Finish. 40 days over. After that, I could not come for my birthday to Swami. So this was going on. And for some time, we keep doing that manana. We'll think about. After a while, okay, Dharma. Then in study circle, we will explain. After that, we will forget. Study circle is nice session. Oh, very nice, Geetha, what a nice session. Dharma Takama Swami said very nicely. Yes, Swami. We are all appreciating Swami's oratory and then forgetting whatever he is saying. So that was good. Then it went on. 60th birthday happened. This thing. And then I had turned 50, I think. Then it was my father's 80th birthday. Swami performed my father's 60th birthday, 70th birthday, 80th birthday, everything in Parthi. So 80th birthday, Swami told whom to bring also. He would tell us, you bring these people. So we had gone there, we were sitting, my dad's 80th birthday. So we're sitting. I said, Padmanabh, how old are you today? He asked my father. 80, Swami. Then he didn't ask my father. He's turning at me. How many numbers? What numbers in 80? 8 and 0, Swami. But what happened to 50, 60, 70? Nothing. Suddenly from 40 jumping to 80. 8 and 0, Swami. But you didn't say anything for 50, 60, 70. I want to remind him. I'm not yet 70. But the chance will go to find out. No, my father is in. No, you tell everybody what is the meaning of 2030. So I told whatever I told. 20 is this. Shraddha Bhakti, 30 is Trikarna Shuddhi, 40 is Purusharthas. Then I said, I don't know what is for 50 and 60 and 70. This is so easy. Swami says, what is that? 50 is that body is made of Panchabhutas, the 5 elements. The body is made up of 5 elements. So this body will always be a part of the 5 elements, Panchabhutas. Then we have Panchendriyas, we have 5 Indriyas, the sensory organs. The Jnanendriyas, 5 Jnana Indriyas, which can think, intellect, all those things. So all your sensory organs are all in 5s, Purify that. Use it for the right reasons. Use your eyes to see the right things, hear the right things, talk the right things, eat the right things. All this. So if your body, which is made out of the 5 elements, has to be healthy to serve the society, then all the senses have to be purified. What you see, what you eat, what you think, all that. So 50th birthday, you will say, Oh, you're very, very difficult. So how can we do? And even there, for my father's 80th birthday, I've taken so many things, to know for Swami. And they say, see, this has cholesterol, that has salt, too much sodium, all that he says, we have taken cashew and this and that. And he says, yeah, see, if you practice all these things and you know why you are in this life, you can. So 50. 60th birthday, what is it? 60th means if you are practicing all these things, because you cannot eliminate these first ones. You have to be continuously practicing. 60th birthday, Shadripus, the 6 enemies. We have Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, we have all desire, anger, envy. All those 6 enemies are there. You must start controlling them by the age of 60. You must start controlling them. Why can you control them? Because your food is in control. What you are eating, you are controlling. What you are seeing, you are controlling. What you are listening to, you are controlling. So when you control that, automatically the 6 enemies will retreat. Because they are not fed by the mind. 60. By 60, you should be doing like that. When you reach 70, what happens? You are doing all these things, you become like the Saptarishis, the great sages, 7 great sages. You know what is the quality of the 7 great sages? They serve in the community on the earth, but whenever they want, they can enter the abode of the Lord. They have access to Him whenever they want. That is only possible if you are doing all these things, serving the society, you have access to the Lord. You become a Saptarishi at 70. Now comes 80. This was my father's. See, by the time you reach the age of 80, you should become like the Ashtadikpalakas. Ashtadikpalakas means the 8 deities on the 8 directions. What do? There is one deity, north, south, east, west, southeast, northeast, whatever, all that our GPS tells. So those Ashtadikpalakas are there. What are they doing? They are protecting every direction that God has created in this universe. What do? They are living only to serve. They don't even have the desire to see the Lord. They will serve. 80, you should reach. When you reach 90, then you should become like the Navagrahas, the 9 planets. What we all have in the temple, no? We all go 9 times now. Navagrahas. But what do the Navagrahas do? Their focus is only on the Lord. They go round and round. The 9 planets go around the sun. That's all their job. They go round and round the sun. Wherever the Lord is, they are there. Wherever He is, they go around the 9 planets. Finally, a human life is supposed to be 100 years. In our Hindu rites, when we bless somebody, we say, may you live happily and healthily, useful to the society for 100 years. That is the blessing the priest gives at the time of marriage, at the time of birth. So 100 years. What is the number in 100 years? Oh, you're 100. What is it going to tell for 100 now? Ashtadikpalakas, Navagrahas are 100. So see, only one. The other is 00. If you have practiced all this Bangaro, you and I are one. No difference. That is the path to practice. What a beautiful. So, when he told me that you watch the nuances, these are the nuances of life. No? What are we doing? Who are we mixing with? What are our desires in life? What are we looking for? What is our next? Because we are all obviously spiritual aspirants. We have come here, spending this whole afternoon. If we are not interested, we won't be here. We will go and find something else to do. There's so many things to do. So that is the path that Swami has given us. That is the path. See, somebody just asked me when I was eating, oh, your days going to Prasanthi Nilayam, it must have been very difficult. The difficult is not at all the word. I can't even describe that. That's how it must. Somebody asked me, that crossing that river, I think Brother Chandrasekhar was asking in the car, that crossing the river, Chitravati river, we had to cross. I'll describe that a little bit to you. You can imagine. The next time you go to Puttaparthi, you can imagine how nicely your journey from Devanhalli. Now they are increasing the size of the road. Beautiful road they have made. But you can imagine Geetha auntie's journey. We used to leave Bangalore. in the morning, 10:30, 11, one narrow gauge train. All these young people don't know what narrow gauge. First of all, it's a steam engine. You have to go to Amish country to see that here. Or in the museum. There we all travel in that. So that narrow gauge train, we have to get in at 10:30. And you know how the packing, not less luggage, more comfort, all that was not there. More luggage means better comfort impression because nothing is available. These ladies, my mother and all typical South Indian ladies, my God, every trunk was filled with sambar powder, chutney pudi, rasam powder, this masala, that masala. Nothing was available there. So rice, dal, because we are staying for 10 days for Navaratri means you require everything including matchbox. Nothing was available at those days. So I had to go to Bukkapatnam to get it. Who has time? Swami is with us all the time. Who wants to leave Swami and run to Bukkapatnam to buy something? Nobody wants to go. So everything used to be packed in these trunks, Plus you girls don't know, hold all, it's called, like a sleeping bag. Inside that hold all the clothes are put and everything. You can't imagine. I don't know what all they used to have. So we used to have a whole compartment full of things. You get into this narrow gauge. This train will leave Bangalore railway station so slowly. We are all very excited. Children, look in the window. The cycle fellow, Tanga fellow will all be overtaking our train. So slow that train, By the time it reaches Penukonda, you can imagine 10:30 we leave here, 11 o'clock something. We are reaching Penukonda, 80 miles away. Somebody came from Rochester and all so fast here. I don't know. So they came, when you go, we are reaching Penukonda at 1 a.m. or 1:30 a.m. having left it because no narrow gauge train. And in that Penukonda, the train will stop only for 2 minutes. So we have to unload everything, all these trunks, and they were more caring about the trunks. If the children are awake and they get down, we are lucky. Otherwise, children will go in the train. Sometimes somebody will come and say, hey, get out of the train. We are sleeping. Get out of the train. First, they will make sure all the trunks come out, everything. And that Penukonda railway station was just one rock, like a cement block. All the trunks were thrown out, and these children, they will wake up and everybody jumps. There is no fear. From here to there, the train goes so slowly, so they can pull all the children out. We jump. Then in that railway station, just one cement block. So they'll bring some bedsheet and all, they'll put for us kids, they're all lying there in that thing. And then morning, 6 o'clock it is that we wake up. Then, these ladies, everybody, the children are all crying, hungry, this, that. So they want to go and get milk and something for the children, not chai or tea or something. If you go there, those villagers will not sell any milk. They say, why are you city people coming and ruining our village life here with all your bags and tries? Like going to see some boy, you don't know who that boy is in Puttaparthi. You people are all going there. Why are you coming and ruining our lifestyle? Our rural lifestyle like this. They won't sell the milk or anything. Someone kind-hearted man, somebody will find. They'll bring the milk, give the children milk and this and that. Then from Penukonda, we have to take a bus to Bukkapatnam. That bus fellow will be chit-chatting. There's one government bus. That fellow won't come. He said, where you want to go? Bukkapatnam. Why you want to go to Bukkapatnam? You have come from Bangalore city. Hey, we want to go and see Satya Sai Baba. Why you want to go and see that boy? Some fellow there, nothing doing. Today my bus is not going. So it's in his control. There is no rules, regulation. Then they'll plead and beg, no, we have to go. We have Karnam Subhama's house. We have to go there. Something they'll say. Then we get into this bus. This fellow will stop in every village, chit chat with everybody there. So he'll take his own sweet time and arrive in Bukkapatnam. Now we have to get a bullock cart. From there we have to say, please remember when you see the wonder of Prashanti, you remember how much effort Swami has. So that bullock cart fellow, villager, he doesn't know how to count nothing. How many people? Some 10, 15, mostly ladies, 1 or 2 men, poor people who have retired, the older men. Other younger men are all working. They only come for Vijayadashmi, last day. So, 5,000 rupees. He doesn't know how many zeros are there in 5,000. But he is just 5,000 rupees, 5,000 you give. Like that. These are all middle class people whose salary is 50 rupees. How are they going to give 5,000, you know? So imagine the negotiation from 5,000, they have to bring it down to 5 rupees or 10 rupees. It's Mohanram. By that time, we kids are all crazy. They packed those trunks nicely with things. So we are opening all that and eating. Somebody will scolding. Oh, why did you eat that chakli? We kept it for Swami. You useless children have already. All that is also happening. So then finally that fellow agrees. He comes to the river and we have to get down there. And we cross the river. Or we have to walk across the river. But the most, by this time, it is the following day, morning, 24 hours. That was we go now from America to India in lesser 18 hours. So, but our lovely Lord, you know, waiting for his devotees, is always waiting there, standing on the rock, handkerchief, waving. And come, you must all be tired. I told Venkamma to cook. You know, she has made some food for all of you. You must all be tired. Come, Venkamma is there. Parvatama, Papa. Swami's family is so loving. They used to make the food. We always do. So one particular incident that my cousin was also reminding me about. They came to the river. This river is full of water. This river, usually there was not that much water there. It used to be dry. But after the rainy season, it is full. My cousin was telling me, they came to the river. That bullock cart fellow, he refused to cross the river because there is so much water, you know. He's saying, no, these bullocks are not going to go. They all have to beg, no, but please take us. How will these ladies, all South Indian ladies, nobody knows how to swim, all wearing saris. How can we cross this? So, okay, please, you know, we'll give you little for 5 more, whatever they begged them. So, you know what these people did? Look at the faith of my ancestors, all uncles, aunts, everybody in this gang. They put all the trunks in the cart and us children there. And they sent us with this bullock cart because they think they can wade, some of them at least, younger version. So these fellows, they're going, they didn't realize there was so much water. The cart is going and slowly, suddenly the cart is now sailing. It is not in, there's so much water, these people didn't realize. And you know what, these fellows, I have a vague memory, these bullock cart fellows, some 2-3 fellows, they will come and scream in the bullock's ear in the left side, so that the bullock goes to the right. Otherwise, bullock will go to Penakonda instead of Prashanti Nilayam. That bullock will get scared, go this side. Then it's going too much this side. They'll come and scream in the right ear to make it go in a straight line. So they are swimming and controlling these bullocks in the water. This cart with us and the trunks are floating, you know. And these people, they put us all there. They're standing on the banks. Sai Rama, they are shouting. Sai Rama, we are all in the water. Nobody knows how to swim. Then we all reached. Those fellows, oh, so much work we did. They opened our trunk and ate all the snacks, you know, those fellows. Because all the elders are there. We are only children. They ate all that. Now they have to take the bullock back and bring these older ladies. Now imagine their fear. They have seen what is going to happen. See, first round they didn't know. So they sent us. Now they know what they are in for, no? But no, what to do now? Children are outside, adults are there. They are sitting in the bullock cart. Sai Rama, Ekrunamappa, where are you? That year, my cousin said, Swami postponed the Navaratri by 1 day so that these people could reach and take a bath and then be part of the yajna. That was the faith and the devotion and the mahima of that place, that they could reach like that. However difficult it was, they wanted to reach our swasthanam, what we call our place of Prashanti there. No? So they arrived there and Swami looked after it, all had food. So this was my childhood journey. Then I will finish with this last thing. Same journey in a different way. Same journey. Going to Puttaparthi can become a spiritual journey, you know. How, what happened? I became education in human rights because I'm only telling you old 1940 stories. Sometimes I was not born also in some of these stories. Things have happened after I grew up also. I was in college, first year degree or something like that. There was a Balavikas Guru's training in a place called Davingere. Now there is a beautiful school, Swami's. There is other our central trust which they are running a beautiful school, built by the very ardent devotees of the city of Davingere. There we were supposed to do a Guru's training. The the education minister of the state of Karnataka, one was lady called Nagamma. She was the education minister. She was the one who started the first pilot program for those who are interested in education in human values in Karnataka. She said all government school teachers should be trained to teach human values to the children. So this was the inaugural program in Davangere. She was from Davangere. So she said, let us start the education in human values program there. And we will go from there. So this was organized. So she requested my mother to conduct the program. Now for this program, not only our Balavikas Gurus who are going to become education and human values teachers, also she invited all government school teachers and vice chancellor of the university, principals of colleges, all non-devotees. They are all going to come. It was a mixed group, you know. So she wanted the program to be really good because non-devotees are also coming. So she gave that thing to my mother. She was the state coordinator for SSSC. So Swami called everybody into the interview room. That was the time when I was doing the scribing for the curriculum program. Swami used to call me Ganeshi, go. Because I was writing whatever Swami said, I used to make notes. And I had to give it to Dr. Gokak and Shanta Divakar and others who made the curriculum later on for Balavikas. So we were all in that meeting. That day my mother came. She sat down, all the great intellectuals, you know, who put together the original Balavikas program under Swami's command how to do it. That's why we should not change all that too much. Because Swami took so much interest in what should be there in that curriculum. What should be taught to the children. How the values should be taught. How, even as the years go by, how we can make it relevant without leaving out the innate thing which is love for God. Without leaving that out. Not making only seva. No. Why are you doing seva? You are doing seva to reach Him. Not just seva to feel good about yourself, relieve somebody. You know, in Telugu, one great poet, he says, who has watered the plants in the trees? Who nourishes the child in the womb? Who are we to do seva for anyone? He is there to look after. He has given us that tool to progress ourselves. Anyway, so this, I was sitting there. My mother also came for that meeting. And in that meeting, my mother said, Swami Nagamma Keshamurti has asked me to do this Davanagere thing. Swami, always she gave the details. And we have to, this thing, and do this program. Swami, I need a chief guest for that program, keynote speaker, you know, and this thing. So, name of that. One second. Don't forget which year also I'm looking at. 1974, I think. 1974. It was in 1974. So we have to go there, Swami. You know, it is not we need a chief. So in this group, you know, there was Shanta Divakar auntie, there was Gokak, there was Dara Bindri. So my mother was hoping Swami will tell one of those great intellectuals to come as the chief guest for that program. You know, Davangere was a small thing. There are no big hotels and all to house these big speakers. But still, if Swami tells, they will come and do, you see. So my mother, so Swami, oh, what is the program? So this thing, the program is there in Davangere Swami in that place. And the subject matter for that is Paramanandake Prasthana. Paramanandake Prasthana. That is the topic. Paramananda means bliss, immense joy. Paramananda ke. Prasthana means journey. The journey towards bliss. That is the topic. So for that topic, and it has to be spoken in Kannada, because that place is all Kannadigas there. So for that topic, Swami, I want a chief guest, Swami, keynote speaker. Oh, what? So Swami, you must also. My mother is hoping, there's already all these important people. I am also writing down, bending my head, sitting next to without even lifting the head, I go on writing. Paramananda Prasthana, need speaker and all that, I'm writing down. And Swami said, oh, you go. I don't know, I'm thinking Swami says, you go to someone. Getting one knock on my head, and oh, you go. If you had seen the faces of the people in that interview room and my mother's face, they must have all, my mother wanted me to drop there. Those people are looking at Swami like something is, I'm a 17-year or 18-year-old girl, and that girl, Swami is saying to go and speak in front of the Chief Minister, Education Minister of Karnataka with all Vice Chancellors of University. The two topic is journey towards bliss. And that too, even worse, you have to speak in Kannada. No, we can't speak in Kannada such topics. I don't know, can't speak. I can speak Kannada, but no. So, Swami, I cannot speak, Swami, I am saying. And my poor mother, she was wishing I was not. No, not Geetha, Swami. So many, Dr. Gokak is there, Dr. Rajratnam is there, Dr. Shanta Divakar is there, any one of them, Swami. Why she can't speak? When young people do the work, others will see that these values make these young people so good. Why can't she speak? No, Swami, she has to speak in Kannada. So what if she has to speak? Then I said, I don't know the meaning of this topic, Swami. What is the meaning of Paramananda ke Prasthana? I don't know. Prasthana means journey. I don't know these Kannada words. I don't know, Swami. I don't know. I can't. Then he said, why you don't know? You go and speak. No, please, Swami, I can't speak Paramananda ke Prasthana, that too in Kannada. He said, a very easy, Bangaru, journey towards bliss. That's all. I don't know what is bliss. We actually learned this word from the Western devotees who were coming to from America and other places to Whitefield in those days, in the early 70s, some few devotees came, our Americans and others, they used to say it was such a blissful darshan. We are having darshan every day. We don't know what is blissful darshan. How are we different from yesterday? We have not developed. This prasthana has not happened. This journey has not happened for us. They have all in search of truth. We are right in the shadow of truth. We don't know. That's the difference. They say the shadow is there under the lamp. They came all the way. Such a blissful darshan, Bhagavan's darshan, Baba's darshan. So yesterday also he gave darshan. What is all this like that? What is all this blissful journey and all, Swami? I can't. Swami, this journey to Shanti Nilayam, which I just described you, look at the journey that Swami has described. You want to go from point A to point B, Bangalore to Prashanti Nilayam Kada. That is the journey you want to go. So what do you want to do? First, you require a vehicle to go. It can be bullock cart, it can be car, it can be bus, car, anything. It can be. You already have that vehicle. You have this body. You have come with it due to many janmas. You have the bullock cart or car. But the speed of the vehicle depends on your sadhana, you see. If you are a bullock cart body, slowly will go. If that narrow gauge train, little bit faster, but cycle will be overtaken. Car means even better, like that. So you already have the body. It depends on your sadhana, how fast you are going. So your body is there. Then what else you need to come to Prashanti Nilayam? You require luggage. Luggage, even Swami cannot forget because Rasam powder. So Swami, so you have the luggage. Already some luggage is there because you have brought it from past lifetimes. That suitcase is already half full. You have come with it. Now into that luggage, you will add more like rasam powder, some powder, what attachments, desires, I want this, I want that, all that. So suitcase is becoming heavier and heavier. So suitcase is also there. Then you decide to go. Nice. That's a good thing. Then when you start, then tomorrow, day after, you will say, no, who will go all alone to Prashanthi? Boring journey. Such a long journey. So what do? You will add some more of that rasam powder. Who? You'll ask your friend, why don't you come? Some cousin, some relative, why don't you come? So the number of people you will increase, attachments, husband, wife, children, in this journey of life, you go. So everybody starts for Prashanthi Nilayam. You go, nice early morning, you have started, you start going. Then as you go, you will come near, you will see the board Lepakshi. If you go to Puttaparthi, you can see Lepakshi. Somebody in this attachment group, they will say, oh, so nice Lepakshi temple, beautiful Shiva temple is there. If at all you have not seen, please go sometime. Beautiful temple is there. You will say, let us go and see. Still, Swami's darshan is 5 o'clock in the evening. Now we have a car now. Better, little bit we have evolved. So, we will see Lepakshi. Somebody will say, okay, take a detour, suddenly. You will go to Lepakshi. Everybody says, so beautiful, paintings are nice. Then, so the ladies will say, oh, Lepakshi sarees are very famous. Cotton says, anyway, we have come. Let us buy some sarees, matching bangles. This is Swami is describing. That's so little detour. You have gone. You waste some time over there. Still a lot of times there. Then let us go. Then little further, Chikkabalapur and all will be there. Let's have some coffee, one more desire, eat something, drink something. Then further you are going. The Swami is describing as you go. These are all villages we used to see very clearly in those days. Now because of the highway, you don't see going. Pala Samudram, one will come. So somebody will say, hey, I am 100% sure if we go via Pala Samudram, we will reach Prashanthi Nilayam fast. Let us go. Then somebody will say, no, I say, let us go in a known path. Unknown path, let us not go. Now we don't know this Pala Samudram path. Unless why go there? It may reach. But we don't know that path. Let us go Chakkani Raja Marga Mundaga. Tyagaraja says the beautiful highway is there. Why you want to go on all the side roads? You may reach, but we don't know when. So, no, this will be one very strong and aggressive and bossy person. No, I know very well. So you go to Palasamudram and you will go there and you keep on going, you don't find anything, you stop in Palasamudram and ask that fellow there. Say, where is how to get to Prashanthi Nilayam? I said, that fellow says, why did you come this way? I say, there is no road going to Prashanthi Nilayam from Palasamudram. You have to go back to the main road and go. You go back, there is no. So you have gone already some 20 kilometers. Now you have to come back 20 kilometers for that Raja Margam, that royal path. So Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, between Lepakshi, saris and eating dosa, going on the wrong road, finding some gurus. All that will happen. Then you are back again on the way. But the yearning is there. You want to go. That is the basic desire to go to Prashanthi Nilayam. There's nothing wrong with it. You come back. Punarapi Janam, born again, die again, born again. Come back. Then we go. Then as we are going, somebody will say, this is all a big problem. How do we know that Swami is there and all? Do we know that Swami is there in Prashanthi Nilayam? What if he has gone to Chennai? What if he has gone to Hyderabad? How do we know? Somebody says what to do. This is our karma. If he is there, because in those days no information. Then so somebody will start. Then they'll start arguing. Why did you choose this day? I say we could have gone other day when we know that he is definitely there. So you are getting into argument, making some karma and all. You have to pay the toll for not only this karma, past karma also. So what is the toll? That fellow in Penukonda railway station crossing used to be there. We had to go. That in those days, that fellow used to close the railway gates. No train is coming. Only one train goes in the whole day. But he will close the gate because he wants money from us. So if you have to open the gate, you have to pay him. So even only that Penukonda slow train is going to come only at 2 a.m. This fellow has closed at 11 o'clock itself. So we have to go and find. He won't be there. He will be in his house somewhere. We have to go. It's a small village. Hey, come, I say, open the gate and all. He said, I am not going to open now. I am eating lunch. So he had to wait, then he'll come and open the gate, then he had to give him some money to open the gate. Then so all the toll, all the problems we are telling him, no, we have this problem, that problem, my mind can't focus, my body can't sit, all that toll we are paying for. So we finished paying toll, and finally after this long journey, we arrived in Prashanti. That whole doll is there, full of saman. Swami said, with all that suitcase, sambar, coffee pudi. Swami always say coffee pudi because these people want coffee, the South Indian people. So they have the coffee powder, everything. Then you come. Suddenly, how the indication for us. No Veda Narayanan nowadays so beautifully starting with Vedam, starting with Om, music and all. In those days, our indicator that Swami is here was Sai Geetha. Yeah. That big circle was there that I saw a picture somewhere. Big circle, Veda circle. That Sai Geetha will start. We would all be playing there actually in the sands. Because Sai Geetha is there. Swami will come out. We didn't care at all. We were playing in the sand. But we will keep watching Sai Geetha. I don't know how she used to know. Swami's interview room door would not open or anything. Swami from the upstairs bedroom, he'll come into the interview room. In those days, he was living in the main. Suddenly, the Sai Geetha, who's standing there with her trunk moving, suddenly her ears will straighten. Somebody said, hey, Sai Geetha, look at Sai Geetha, that means ears are straight. So we'll all run, oh, Swami has come, Swami has come. Swami is nowhere to be seen actually. He has only come from his bedroom to the interview room. But this, see her connection, her ears will straight. So we go there and Swami says, you all come and lie near that where Ganesha is. You know Ganesha. So Ganesha is there. You say, look at Sai Geetha, Swami has come, Swami has come. So what happens? Everything you will forget it, your trunks and your hold on which you have carried so far you have come. Forget it. And you go there. In that group also there will be one person. Oh, who will look after our hold on and trunk? So still a couple more lives to go. No? So who will look after our trunk? So that attachment, that person will stay back or 5 people will stay back. Those who are interested will run there to that person. Will sit there. And so after coming all this, you're sitting with your eyes closed. And I say, Yaprocha, I'll say, when did you come? Then only you open your eyes and you see my form. Prayochan, you can't talk. Your throat is closed. Your eyes are filled with tears. You are seeing me. So we Prayochan. I know. You came now, but I have been waiting for you from that time. What is that time? Not this life. You say, I didn't come to you, but I have been waiting for lifetimes. Finally, you have come. That is Prasthana to Prashanti. That is the journey to bliss. Prasthana, Prashanti. Paramanandake, that is the beautiful bliss. This is the journey. Go and tell him down, after telling him, son, this is the journey of life. This is how we all end up here in Prashanti. This is the journey of life. We have gone through this many times, how to do it in a better way, less luggage, more comfortable. Go and tell. So he made me speak this 20 minutes ante chalu, he said. See, I told you more because you are not understanding. But once you understand, 20 minutes is enough to convey this. So he made me tell this in Davangere as the chief speaker there. So now we all have to think, right? We have come all the way from Rochester, Geetha. I came from Washington, DC. We have all come from this different places. He has brought us to his feet. How to continue our life, how to serve him, how to see him more, how not to be worried about the hold all and the trunk and the coffee powder and the sambar pudi, how to not take deviated paths to Palasamudram, somewhere in the side, which has no path ultimately. You have to come back again to the royal path. Then stopping to buy saris, endless desires, how we can control all that and reach our own Prashanti Niriyam, that bliss that our good old friends from America who used to come, we had Bhagwan's blissful darshan. We were not understanding at that time. But now we can imagine that. So with those words, I will stop, brothers and sisters, and pray to him that he removes the obstacles in our journey. That only he can do. He is Sai Ganesha. He can only remove the obstacles. We can pray. With that prayer, I thank you all again for listening to me with such love and patience. And I hope with Swami's grace, we can all continue this journey, this prasthana towards Paramananda Center.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Satya Sai Hare Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka Pati Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadish Hare Shashi Vadana Shrikara Sarva Pranapate Swami Sarva Pranapate Ashrita Kalpalatika Ashrita Kalpalatika Apad Bandhava Om Jai Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Guru Devamu Mariyantayuneve Swami Mariyantayuneve Nara Brahma Jagannatha Nara Brahma Jagannatha Nagendra Shayana Om Jai Jagadish Hare Omkara Rupa Ojasvi O Sai Mahadeva Satya Sai Mahadeva Mangala Harati Anduko Mangala Harati Anduko Mandara Giridhari Om Jai Jagadish Hare Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Om Shanti Shanti